That was Romy Swahili, Kama Keshaka. They always say Kama Keshaka, just not Kama. Kama Keshaka with Rudy Nyumbani. It was produced by the one and only Kunta Beats. You could always tell a Kunta Beat from a very, very far away place. Like, that he's the one who touched that one. This is The Vault, which you got MYRA Maloba, the Afro-Punk Queen, and Mr. New Bag Swag.
Yes, the beat maker, not the beat taker. 10 fingers in the air representing Thursday on The Vault. If you don't know, you better ask your mama.
Ask her.
You have no mama, ask a kingy with a good hair. Yeah, that's how we roll today. Yeah, hip hop all the way. Hip hop in Kenya, hip hop to the world.
Right. First of all, happy birthday.
A belated birthday.
It's still me. I don't know about you. May do birthday weeks. Birthday months.
Yeah, I got a lot of friends from all over the world wishing me happy birthday. Hey, I had a lot of friends out there. I was just like, I was like, oh, these are many happy birthdays.
But do you say?
Yeah, from even women that I don't know. I give a shout out, all the love to you guys out there.
Of course, the women. How do we curse other women?
Yeah, women have love. I always represent for women because women have love.
Especially the ones around you. We know, Jimmy, we know.
They were created by God with love.
We know. Let me tell you. You and there's a certain intern we have here called Innocent.
Oh, please.
Because same was up. I told you, Bosco. Same was up. Same was up.
Let me tell you why women love me is because of my dimples.
Please. Whatever.
Dimples to the left, dimples to the right.
Whatever, please. You could have shared our channel, even Innocent, wherever you are. You could have shared. I don't understand it. I don't get it.
We've not talked about Tangala yet.
Let me tell you, first of all, there are 3 people in this studio: Bosco, Innocent, and Tangale. When they start working together or even apart, we are not going to do anything because it's just women to the left, women to the right.
They're like the
cleaner version of Ludacris. Women in every area.
They're the 3 G's.
It's usually tough. They're like, hey, wait.
Get back to work.
Come. I mean, like, it's a problem. And like, these women are just like swarming them. And you're like, what is it?
But it's a good thing if, there's some men out there that women have no affiliation with. Like, a guy tries, like, hey, how you doing? They just passing. Yeah? In fact, a friend of mine was reminding me.
They should call themselves blessed. They should be happy and call themselves
A friend of mine was reminding me when we were in high school and we used to go for Kenya music festivals. How all of us as the choirs, Upper Hill, we used to go to these schools.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of them were girls' schools that used to go performing. And then it's like, I would tell them, you guys, I'll see you later. I had my pen and my paper. Those days there was no mobile phone. It was Sanukula Posta. That's how we operated. The most addresses you can get and was it landline numbers.
I remember your address book.
Yeah, landline number. I remember we used to tap that phone in the house and the bill used to come and we tell our dad, I didn't make any calls. Then he gets the automated bill. Where all the numbers are
right.
are written. Now you're like, and the bill is super high.
Busted.
So he put this wooden box, remember, with a padlock on the landline phone.
Right.
And still tap that phone.
You used to make me hold on, I think, the dial tone while you are dialing. Yani me, I'm the one who was, gosh.
Yeah, we used to do some crazy stuff.
You used to make me do that.
These Gen Zs know nothing about this because, I mean,
the struggle.
You cannot tap a mobile phone.
No.
If you could, it'd be a different story.
The struggle was real.
Yeah.
Speaking about the trouble, we are segueing into our topic of the day. Man, of course, it would be remiss of us not to discuss about what's currently going on. We do have a big conversation that's happening around an artist by the name of Stupid Boy. Okay.
Why would you call yourself Stupid Boy first?
And even it felt hard for me to say that, it was hard to say it out of my mouth. But that's the name, but it's STOOPID.
That's how you know he's Gen Z.
Yeah. Well,
you call yourself Stupid Boy.
I heard his song.
Why not Clever Boy?
Well, that's the one he chose.
Or Single Boy.
Me even I had yesterday. There's wrong rende. I had right rende yesterday. That song was really dope. Please, Nyeke, song. That song was really dope. I really liked it.
Yeah.
And now these guys have a song called Jibag na Bag. Sindio na Jag. D-Bag na Jag. It's actually a bop. I actually liked it. I heard it. They're still staying true to the gengetone genre.
Yeah, I don't think gengetone is dead. The way some people are trying to make it like gengetone is dead.
And these are one of the reasons why, because of what's going on right now.
Yeah. Me personally, I have love for gengetone artists. You know, I say keep doing your thing, but keep it clean.
Keep it clean. But like, I have to big up Bogigeje because they always kept it clean. They did. They kept their respect for women clean. They kept their lyrics clean, even if they don't. We never understood it, but yeah,
even Jeshijinga,
Pia. There's those guys who kept it nice and clean.
They one of them. They were entertaining.
Right. There were two extremes to gengeton.
Yeah.
There were those who went too ham and just were too explicit, and then just glorified women in the wrong way.
Yeah, there's one lyric that I got shocked about. Ada ukikataa bado nitaingia.
Yeah.
Like that one is just like, and that's what I'm saying. Like
even the song I had for
even if they claim it's entertainment, it makes someone wonder in your personal life, how do you live your personal life?
How do you live it?
Yeah.
I heard another song the other day. I think they were sampling it here in studio. I was like, nope, nah. It was one of those famous artists. I was like, nah, you can't be talking like that in this lifetime, Yani. As in, like, we are way past putting men and women in certain positions to be seen in certain ways.
I heard it's been on social media also trending that Nameless did a song the other day with what's this gengetone artist? I forget one of the gengetone.
He was even talking about it, Reckless.
Yeah. Now, there's two sides to it. Some people be like, Nameless, your grave has been set. Retire.
No.
And some people have said, okay, he's a good performer. But you have to ask yourself, how long? It's not a bad question to ask. But how long can you live in that genre as being an artist? Okay, reggae guys have done it for years. You see them touring.
R&B artists the same.
But the one thing they have said, which I do agree with, is that Nameless never seems to change his style.
He's Kapuka.
He never seems to change it. But even guys who have been in hip hop for years, they up their game, because the world is moving.
Right.
You can't just remain. Even guys who do like reggae music, who are roots,
Right.
Like if you hear some of the stuff now that Buju Banton has done, with DJ Khaled, it's not the old Buju Banton that we knew.
He's changing it up.
He has to change it up because the world is moving.
Right.
And so I think I agree with that the Nameless, he should look into that. I know him from back in the days when he had no dreads. It was known as Monsky. He was actually a rapper.
Right.
That's a different kind of Nameless from the Ogopa Nameless. And
right.
after that,
Right.
And so I feel that it's important because the world is moving. We can't stay stuck that this is like, be hardcore. This is me and you better accept me.
I don't think he's ever really jammed himself and his style in people's faces and it's a must. So for him, I think he loves doing what he does. Because remember, this guy is an architect, okay? He's already made it in life.
That's not his only hustle, by the way.
Yes, he has made it in life.
His side hustle, his side baby.
He can live music comfortably.
Apart from Wahoo, that's his side baby.
That's his main baby. But he can comfortably leave music to go on to his main thing. But we still appreciate him. We appreciate how much work he puts into his acts.
But thank goodness the picture I saw of him, he was not wearing a durag. Thank goodness, praise Jehovah. Like that durag Nameless has to go.
Wait, which picture is this? I want to see it.
The picture I saw the other day, he was being promoted. He was even having a sweater. He was looking different.
I want to see that picture.
Like he was wearing some bright cow colors. I was like, yeah, that's the way.
You have to share it.
That's the way. Like every time you see Nameless or even Red Sun, they're Mr. Durag.
Oh my God.
Durag went out back in the days, man.
When
we wore Durag, because we couldn't afford it, we used to cut it up from the mattress. Remember the mattress, they had this material?
Oh my word!
So
Yeah.
That was the durag. That was the durag. Those durags those days were very. In fact, some of the first guys I saw with durags were like El Kuche. Remember, we had this one called Boss.
Yeah.
That one called Boss.
Right.
It was too expensive.
Right.
You couldn't afford it. So that's what I love about Kenyans. Entrepreneurship. They figure out what needs to be so and how to make it.
Material mattress.
Yeah. And then I had a friend who used to do that. In fact, the guy used to do, let me shock you, the guy who used to do that was DJ Mwakenya.
All right.
Kimari. He used to do that for us.
Wow.
Because he was studying fashion. He's like, I know. Butu kadetu mattress hapa. Ikava.
Your poor parents.
That's how.
Your poor parents.
So like every time I see Red Sun or Nameless, there's a durag. But there's a myth about Red Sun, why he keeps on wearing a durag.
Why?
They said that he tightened his dreads too tight, that some of them started falling out.
Oh my god.
I don't know. That's hearsay, so don't quote me on it. You know.
But I'm curious to see for Nameless. You know, it's like the way guys were laughing at Kibe when he removed his hat. They were like, Kume, that's what's under there. But you know, Kibe has not always worn the hat. He's not always had it.
Yeah, he's not. But I remember him back in the days when, by the way, he was a youth leader. He never used to have it on. And there's myths behind a lot of guys, producers in hip hop. For example, when we were working with Waweshim Janja on a project in London, people used to say, hey, check your head boy and I come, head boy and I come.
Oh my
because you know Wawesh had a big head.
Oh my god.
So they called him head boy. Yeah, like Humpty Dumpty. That's just a fact. Come on, let's keep it real. You have a
I'm
big
not
head.
laughing. Who said I was laughing?
There's another friend of mine also who was in hip hop who had a big nose. So someone said, well, okay, Nusa, all the air in Apotea. So in hip hop, we're just known to crack jokes, but we don't take it seriously. We don't take it. It's not like we go to war. So, you know, like in hip hop, how they had the mama joke. You know, no one takes it seriously. Like you've got to go to war because someone has dissed you.
Right.
You know,
right.
Like. But apart from that, a bigger back again, Nameless, you know, for just always being in the music.
Always being consistent.
Always
But I don't see
if
that picture.
there's one artist who's been there from back in the days till now, whose name still resonates, it's actually Nameless.
100%. 100%.
You know,
you can't take it away from these guys, you know. Yeah. Like they not only paved the way, they have remained consistent for a very long time.
You got to remember, Nameless is an artist from 96.
Yeah.
95, 96 there.
Right.
Like he's been there for a long time.
Right.
He's not no new guy. And he understands the way the game is played.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big shout out to everybody who's tuned in. Remember, we're streaming live on www.iconradio.co.ke as well as youtube.com /@iconradioke. That's where you'll get to see Jimmy's new bag at some point.
Who's Jimmy?
The big maker's new bag at some point. He's coming with that bag anyway. It's like it's like the first day of school.
It's a new era. Hey, Kwanzaa, do you remember the first day, like before you go to school? By the way, schools have been told that they have to. I was talking to this about someone yesterday. They said they have to report on Monday. Next week.
I'm not with that story.
I don't think schools are ready for that.
No.
Yeah.
There are kids sleeping right now on the streets because their homes were swept away.
But also,
so which kids are going to school?
I mean, it doesn't make sense. Government, you are getting things wrong. Let me just be straight up.
There are kids who don't have a bed.
Yeah,
leave alone a
even
school
some
bag.
of the schools, like when it rained, it ruined the schools. So which school are they going to?
Which schools are opening, Mr. President? Which schools are these kids going to when they don't even have their school bags, their uniform, they've been swept away? Some of them are sick with pneumonia because of sleeping out in the rain. Like, come on, let's be serious.
Yeah, I saw that thing where they were telling the residents in different areas to move to higher ground. So the question we need to ask, what is higher ground exactly?
It's just a lot.
We have actually a podcast that's coming out.
I was about to speak about
on Icon Radio, and that's one of the things that was talked about.
Right.
And one of the people is asked, what is higher ground? He says, higher ground is in your head.
That's true.
It doesn't exist, which is
It does
which
not.
is true, because I was watching yesterday on TV about all these people that said that each of you were gonna give 10,000 as we sort out this issue. What is 10,000 gonna take them?
What is 10,000 in this economy? You have taxed everything, paka bread, milk. What is 10,000 going to do for
They're
anyone?
saying they have nowhere to bath, they have nowhere to cook food, they have the kids are suffering of runny stomachs. Like,
And let
how
me
is that
tell
gonna
you,
help?
it's not only the informal settlements that are suffering, even those who are built on riparian lands. Like, there are people who are saying they haven't had water or electricity for a week, that their kids, they don't know how to keep them safe against the floods. I am not for this thing of the schools opening. Let it be free and fair. Let all kids be able to go to school, not some.
Yeah, because I was talking to my boy Chimano yesterday, and he was telling me in Huruma they've not had electricity for the last 3 days.
Wow.
They keep on calling Kenya Power. Kenya Power keep on saying they're coming.
Wow.
And they don't show up.
They're bigger problems.
So now, like, when you're saying they have to go to school on the 13th, which is Monday, like, what are they going to? You know, it doesn't make sense just to do something for the sake of doing it. You know?
And one thing is, I'm very excited for that podcast. A lot of truth telling is going to be told. We'll be giving you details on that later on. Big shout out to Angel Kungu, who is saying memories. I think she's talking about the phone. Yes, we all remember. We all
That phone was
remember.
like, you know, the phone is still in the house.
You know, like, I don't know if these guys know the phone that was there back in the day. Ilo ulikuwa unafunga na box. So now you can't reach the keypad. You guys ever saw that?
It was in a padlock.
So like it's a phone.
This was a tricycle. You know those padlocks are a tricycle.
Yes. So now the receiver is here. The buttons are here. Okay. So now the receiver is the one you can lift. Kama zile za tao. Do you remember those call boxes that were there? So now on the side where there are buttons, now people, fundis, very, very ingenious fundis, came up with a box where you could keep the phone in. Now where the buttons were, used to be covered with a
You can
with
only
a
receive
flap.
you can only
And then
receive-
now you lock it with the padlock, meaning you can't dial those ninis. So people who are geniuses like Jimmy, they would get their younger sisters to hold down the dial pad. Okay, ile inafanya di, unafinya chini alafu it stops. Then he takes a butter knife, alafu anaanza kufinya buttons hapo, ana tap 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 tap,
But
ama
also-
ana tap tap your dial tone kama Morse code to the point you get the number you're getting.
But
As
now,
in, like,
but now we got so good that we learned how to tap the phone. The phone booth. What
sasa ndio
happened?
ulikuwa mjanja, si wawesh.
What happened is the phone booth. You tap and then you hit the phone. You hit 0. Then you go pop. That's how you make a call. And then now we found another technique where you took the inside of Sportsman. You know the silver part of cigarettes.
Right.
So you take that part. So I used to have it always in my wallet.
Oh my gosh.
You know, so you cut a wire up at the top unaishika hapo with that silver part. We used to call Paka States. People used to pay us to make for them calls.
Oh my god! At that time, calling the States was so there was no WhatsApp
Yeah,
calls.
yeah, imagine.
It was
Why
so
do you think
expensive.
half the phone booths were removed out of Kenya? Because they come at the end of the month and open, and there's no money.
It's
in the phone
tapping,
booth.
guys, tapping.
Yeah, guys are tapping everywhere.
Oh my gosh!
Town guys were tapping.
So now
everywhere.
you as a youth, you choose your struggle to be found either tapping the phone or to be found with
Do-
a cigarette lining and explain why you have a cigarette lining in your wallet.
You know, like to make a call is 10 shillings.
Yeah, a
Right.
minute.
Yeah. UK, what they did was this. They had phone booths, huh? But what happens is, like, you first put the coin in,
Right,
then you're able to make the call. Not the other way around.
right.
Yeah.
Here, as you're talking, you keep on feeling them. in.
Now there, you actually put the coin in first.
Oh man.
It's just like their bus system is the same. When you enter the bus, the first thing is there's a slot there. You put the coin in for where you're, the exact amount. You don't walk around. There was no bus conductor. Where the driver is, you put the coin in there, get a ticket, you move it.
Those were the days, man.
That's how
Kids
Kenya.
nowadays will never
I
know
think
the
there's
struggle.
only one phone booth those sides of, I think, City Market. There's
still
only
here,
one
I'm
left
telling
and it doesn't
you,
even
yeah.
work.
Yeah.
But it's there. But it's there.
Hizo sasa ni za music videos. Sasa, let's go back into the music. Speaking of music, we'll go back into the music when we come back. We'll talk about what's trending right now. That is currently artists who are seeking, not artists, maybe one or two, but it's happened, seeking to be paid to be going to promote themselves. If you have any comments, be sure to hit us up at +254 788 380030 YouTube comment section or any of the Icon Radio KE platforms.
Mwana street ngumu tuwakilishe huko mwana usio mwana mwanangu mwana uko wapi na kutafuta wengi umewatoka kitaani umekosa sifa ya hipo mbona haupo ama ulipo sisi hatupo habari yako natumai uko fiti ila sisi mitaani wanao hatuko fiti ikija kwa riziki tunakuwa na dhiki tusichakata tamaa tunasahau kukata keki kwa nini au kwa sababu hauko nasi tunakuwa deni nyingi leo tunalipaga kisasi ukikupata pata nasema tunavuta nyasi hadi squeeze media hazitupi nafasi mitaani tunakusifu uko so real au umekuwa feki kama kalio ya afu wasema rausikiki habari hazifiki unakosa marafiki pia hata mashabiki ulikuwa wapi kapuka ilikuwa inachezwa genge chakacha mara bongo flavor squeeze hata madume nasikia wanalegeza ukiuliza kwa nini unasema anasaka fedha kutafuta wengi umewatoka kitaani umekosa sifa ya hipo mbona haupo ama ulipo sisa tupo taulo kulia inaongoza sana uteja Dandora Magongo pia Barisheba sina means ya kukoli message na kuandikia yule msimu kali saindo anadidimia wendo mwingi utamaduni mwingi wa kubuni wengi tunaobuni tuko chini na kunguni hatufati kanuni tuna support wahuni na bado unanipa shuka kati tunashuka kiuchumi dada amefukuzwa karo mama yupo hospitali sometimes nakosa rali na conductor chukui mistari istijua kala ndio tunakaba kwenye genge wataka tubadilike ili mabosi watu pendo nasema tanupa jina Lupua na zazi za toshi wasikia sona vina kwenye chati za wakos na ashikadau wanajua wendo dau la kushika wakenda kwenye tuwa na sahau na itajika kutafuta wengi umewatoka kitaani umekosa sifa ya hipo mbona haupo ama ulipo sisi hatupo Nasa alisema umekufa ila dokta naamini upo na kaa uliondoka ukirudi hood kama Yesu Kristo ukomboe watoto ambao na matumaini ya kesho na usahau kuhusu ghetto kuna machiza wana mshiko hivi ni kweli au lipi mbona sipati mashota nikipata show sitangazi kiasi cha do yuko wapi Farao na yule sokoro okay shaka ni mashaka ukiuliza kuhusu ko ulifunza kurap ulifunza freestyle kipindi cha golden era tulikuwa tuna deep smile uliniintroduce cypher na bado kwenye mtao kanifunza jamaa sasa ujamaa unanilaza njaa hata ukuja kwa mazishi yangu ana langa Jeez mabob na walizikwa tu hapa Tanga nyika watu wameharibika wanauza yeti long live the hip hop RIP Big na Pac kutafuta umewatoka kitaani umekosa sifa ya hipo mbona haupo yeah, trying to make a speech sisa tupo yeah, yo dear hip hop yeah, umetuinspire sana we love you the same kind of tupenda sisi na tutachoka up and downs every day tutakuwa tunakutafuta naamini kwamba real MCs ni wachache watu wale wachache nao mimi wanaamini kwamba bado upo real na pale ulipo kupata hii barua tafadhali just reply SMS check kwenye Twitter BBM tuambie kwamba upo hai
tunakumiss sana. I miss you, they miss you. Mashabiki wote Kenya, Tanzania, East Africa, kila pahali. Love hip hop lazima. Na ukisikia hiyo ni muda wangu kuketi. Na ukisikia hiyo ni sauti ya risasi. My name is Kala Moto, Kala Interman, KLM, la Moto Kaa, unajua? Etoti, mimi nimetoka hapa.
It's all to the K. It's all to the K. K. Nikianza choku flex, itabidi ulete checks. Kama kiliwanga nywele ama rap anti-djecks. The first rearranger, raps Texas Ranger. Niki step on the scene, rappers are in danger. Okay, it's all to the K, the SYDE, the fella who don't play. Only rapper wanga fly bila kudunga Versace. Marapa na wafry kakuku za Kentucky. Na bado niko rada na marapa miwa mada. Wamejileta Nairobi na ile swaga ya moshada. Na vile wanga nagadha na zangu nde wanalata. Na akili wanga vatu tadhani Big Papa. This brother, I be the showstopper. And they wonder how I be keeping it proper. Nazidi joku penya na itabidi wamesarenda. Na zileta 2-in-1 kabungo za semenya. So ligi mi nacheza ama rapa wataweza. Weni konje na unajichocha mbele ya Mayweather. Lazima wapige nduru. Lazima wapige nduru. Lazima wapige nduru. Lazima wapige nduru. Nikishika mic 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 lazima wapige nduru. Lazima wapige nduru. Lazima wapige nduru. Super name, super game, fly higher than Superman. And I came with a bang, them others be super lame. So you never want it with oxy baby. Juna leta pressure, design ya boxy baby. So come slow, hawezani nami bro. Kwenye mic niki flow, tatambua nani bro. Fearless venye wanga city shiki. Unbogable utadhani gidi. To the K, to the S, to the YDE. Machine neza speed fast ipite 6GB. Mic check, daktari kwenye boma. Swetha ill ama sick, ndakuwacha umepona. Na kwa giza naleta nuru. Nikishika mic lazima wapige nduru. Kange mpaka Uhuru, East Lands, West Lands mpaka Buruburu. Lazima wapige nduru. Lazima wapige nduru. Lazima wapige nduru. Lazima wapige nduru. Nikishika mic 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 lazima wapige nduru. Lazima wapige nduru. Lazima wapige nduru. Marapa na wachuja off the game, so insane. Oxido wanga off the chain. Machizi kuwabuaga jukwani nikitoka. Wanapiga nduru kama rebo ya ogopa. And I say, these rappers very gay. MCs bila balls, opakanga lady gay. After this wa hang mic kama wende holiday. Legendary mindio hip hop Skofi Olomide. Yeah. Na nalipuka kabaruti. 1, 2, 3 masera piga saluti. Dereva kwenye rap na badilisha maruti. Leo bima kesho Suzuki Maruti. Lazima wapige nduru. Lazima wapige nduru. Lazima wapige nduru. Lazima wapige nduru. Nikishika mic 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 lazima wapige nduru. Lazima wapige nduru. Lazima wapige nduru.
Sawa, hamna noma, bado tunakandamiza magongo, upendo bado ipo mkado, hatuishi kwenye shadow, tunaparangana sana, muulize kwado, chiza ni brain ndani ya mitambo. I am who I am, my definition is zero, who I am, Mama knows Mama said while we started, yeah. I am who I am, my definition is zero, who I am, mina chiza mbeto kandamiza masinko.
soko dume nina shime za kimitume ni lepe kwenye hii slamba namba. So nini imehappen kwa mjeshi leo aminia kuona njia tangu enzi za historia hawakutwambia hatuwezi kubow down palipo na rules za mkolona. Tuko home twa ifanyia kutoka rohoni, niko hipo zone mashahiri sia dipo na ambulia na we one nia ninayo watamkia angalia. Cause dolo na walk solo aliopewa kapewa so doro initi ya kuwatoa ndoto moto na hish tumpe mama shime njia iwepo kutokana na St. John's Art demokrasia tuache cheche za Masonic 80 Afrika mina wendo masonko vichwa vibovu kwenye mdara tutop na wana wangofu bila kugusa kibofu kuliwasha gari sketi stare mikanga nyatari kwako kwangu mbili kama kawa safu kuambulia dafu na fua na bado mitaa chafu together we can do more yo one love ndo mitindo san sisao migingo isti zundo mawindo chigongo na chiza ntwa kanda miza bingo vitu baya wape aya
watu wanadai na hizo matenga ni mwani ndio imetuma raia haina tena imani uchumi flat kushinda zoni wega kiplani plus my politicians on mawenga sio tani wezi jipenda venye wewe ungependa jirani informa wengi ya umetekwa tu ndani unastukia unasukuma namba ndani ya jela kiutani plus unoko flani kwenye hewa mimi na bwaya interrogation watu sio wataimba shinda kwaya ropoka kila kitu moja mpaka 3 acha mdhi inaweza ikakukata steam papa sleep jape kenda naweza tutolea hukumu wengine wote wanaochongea ni ngumu kila leo inasuoma shie although sometimes mseo kila kuona shie wakitu point kwa mapicha eti huyu na maboys kama sita ukitokea tu washatu ishingo wanaongea sauti zimeisha ndio wanameza big king ungedhani wako sponsor na Celtel ama Safaricom benye bado wanabonga mingi nikitokea wanapron bado wako na mimi kimya tu ndio mpaka kwa soma squeezy paranoia imezidi ilikuwa juu ya mandom na Guinness nyuma ya mgongo na kombea mabaya alafu ile gafa binvuki watokea wana hala type ya raia ambao alafu bado ationa kampu kugotea hasara hivi mtu huenda akapokea madhara nikiquote babenu maire yani chuki ndio na hisi zao ni udedi valisho suti sio rahisi labda kamatwa na mabutbuti ntiwe kabi tuna hasira utazani tumemwagiwa maji ya betri hata kama radikila sapo washikaji wa cheki kilituleta ni kutafuna kipande ya keki I am who I am. My definition is zero. Who I am. Mama knows mama sitting by me side. Yeah. I am who I am. My definition is zero. Who I am. Mina chiza mbeta kanda giza masinko.
It's all about that hip hop, especially from the 254. We're showing love for music here at home. We're going to be playing more of that on the station and on this show because, of course, we have a lot to offer. Don't sleep on Kenyan artists. Don't sleep on them. They're coming and they're coming very fast and very hard. All right. It's a vault with your girl, MYRA MALOBA, the African Queen, and
yes, the beat maker, not the beat taker. 10 fingers in the air representing hip-hop all the way from the world to Nairobi to Kenya to beyond. The other day, I was seeing this Nigerian artist who was on some TV show. And first of all, I didn't like the way he dressed. I just thought, man, you look pretty shady.
Right.
How you dressed, you know? And then he was asked one question. He was asked, so who would you like to collaborate? They always ask, who would you like to collaborate with? And so he said 2 names. Again, apparently his manager is from here, Kenya. And I think he was coached. Because he said, say who you like to collaborate. He said the usual, Calligraph, Sauti Sol.
Jeez.
Now this is the thing that I get bored of hearing those names because at the end of the day, we have, I don't know how many tribes in Kenya. Okay, it's not like in Nigeria, have like 360 tribes. But we have like our 44 tribes, yeah? But within among it, we have so many talented artists in Kenya Now, this is the thing is, we're spending too much time promoting these guys from other countries, huh?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how well you think their music is. We always like something from out there.
Right.
Even if you go to America, they're like, yeah, let's eat tortillas. You know,
Right.
from the Spanish, you know, they're like, because it's something different.
Right.
You know, everyone always likes something different.
Yeah.
But if we don't promote our own guys who are doing hip hop and other genres of music,
Right.
then Kenyans will always be like, well, things are whack.
But let me tell you one thing. Calligraph and Sauti Soul, they have put themselves out there. Like they sign up for concerts, they sign up for festivals, like they grind. Like even for Calligraph, the number of times he's been in Nigeria, Paka he's being awarded in Nigeria, you know, it's because of how much he has tried to relate to the audiences above and beyond Kenya. Now, when you do not put in that work and you start complaining, who do you think will do it for you?
But you know, the thing is, back in the days, in the 90s, I remember, there's artists that used to come. Like there's a time Yellow Man came. I don't know if you guys remember Yellow Man.
Of course.
Yeah, Dance Hall Guru. There's different artists who come. And the first thing they ask is, take me to the club. Take me out. Because they want to see local talent. That's how they get to know about who
100.
is locally out there
Yes.
doing their thing. Now, the thing about it is this. Just this week, I was talking to some promoters, different promoters that I know in Europe. And because some artists reach out to me, they're like, hey, we want to go and do some of those shows out there. How do you go? So the first question they asked me about these artists, who knows them at home? The first question. Can we check out their blog? Can we check out how many videos they've done? Because in essence, if we're booking them, then we have to be able, they have to sell an arena and we make our money back.
Right.
That's how it works. But this is the thing. This is the thing at the end of the day. At the end of the day, there's Calligraph, there is Sauti Soul, but they didn't do that work alone.
Right.
You know, there's other people that came up.
100%.
And the best thing that I can tell artists is this. Yes, you got to put yourself out there, but as Kenyans also, we've got to tune in and listen to what people are doing. For example, like Mugidi have their own crowd.
100.
They have their own crowd. Ohangala
Very big.
has their own like another guy that puts himself out there even more than a lot of artists I know is Makadem. Makadem is always too. Every time I talk to him, it's like, let's catch up later because I'm supposed to be leaving the country.
Right.
He's always going somewhere.
Now, that's another example of a person who puts himself out there. And he's made enough noise for him to even be recognized here at home. Whenever he calls guys, I saw he had an event the other day after to break his fast. And
He's
guys
100-day fast.
yes,
He's become skinny.
and that's what he wanted. And all these industry greats were there, you know. And that's because he has put in work to be known, whether famously or not.
Plus,
he put in work.
Plus, he told them we're going to drink whiskey. That's
There
the
we
reason
go.
why they came in.
Gin number whiskey. He was, you know, so
I
he,
asked Makadem, why didn't you invite me? He's like, because I know you're not going to drink whiskey. I was like, yeah, you got it right.
so basically, when artists come and they mention Sauti Soul and Calligraph, it's because those are the ones they know who have been making waves and making noise. And one thing that people note, like when we meet Nigerians, Ghanaians, Ugandans, they were like, we were at your clubs and we were so excited because we're going to hear Kenyan music. But all I heard is my music from home, and not even the good stuff.
That's
you know,
the
like when you
problem.
have whiskey and you have good whiskey, they're like, that was bottom of the barrel stuff you guys were playing and anointing and putting up there. Why would I come, leave my home to come and hear the same stuff I hear there?
But there's a second side to that story. It's not that these artists don't give the music to DJs. It's not that they don't like the amount of DJs that I know personally in Kenya that play local content is like 2%. You know, and 2% is even generous. You know, they don't put, it's not that they're not giving the music. It's not the music is not quality. The music is quality. But in their heads, they think, I'm going to get famous if I play these foreigners.
Let me tell you, most of the Kenyan music I've learned is from being in this platform right here. I won't even lie.
Yeah.
Most of the music I've learned and appreciated was either that or my nephews and nieces who would kind of like, you know, catch me up with what's being listened to in the streets. But it's not because I heard it on radio, I heard it on the club. It's from being in this kind of space.
Do you
There
know?
needs to be more of these
Do you know
spaces.
another place where I've really heard the local music, and now I get to know about it, and I go look for it? Is when I'm riding on the Ndudi.
All right.
Ndudi guys, they play local.
Right.
Don't get it twisted. Even Matatus, but Ndudi guys, they play that local stuff that you wonder where did that come from.
Right.
But the thing is this: Icon is all about promoting and putting Kenyan music out there. There you listen to Volt. You're hearing Kenyan hip hop. You know, we're all about that. But Kenyans, we need to change our mentality also. And it's not just like it's in all forms of music
Right.
that we say like, hey, you know, there's Kenyan reggae artists. There's even Kenyan Lingala artists. There's in all genre we have those artists.
Right.
But now every time a Kenyan brings out a song, and I've seen guys do this online. Before they've ever heard the song, they're like, your song he go down. They've not even heard the song. And the thing is, we need to stop and start promoting our own.
Right.
The reason why we're falling apart, even as a country, is because we're not investing in our own. We have Kenyan entrepreneurs
Right.
that are doing good job. Like there's a guy, for example, guy who made my swagged up bag, Ochiel Africa. You see that name, Ochiel, eh? That guy is of course local. It's local, man. And but the thing is, and the same thing that he does that, and he does a very good job of what he does. Same thing with Joka Joke.
Right.
Joka Joke Ted Josiah. People are like from Kenya, they're already saying, oh, he go down, he go whack, what? And people out there are promoting. People out there are always gonna look at your stuff and they're gonna invest in it, but your own people are not investing. That's why promoters ask, what is happening in this country? You know, we need it, and it wasn't always like this.
No.
And around the 2000, 2001,
Huge appreciation for our music.
yeah,
Huge.
there was like guys used to come. Ugandans were always here. Tanzanians, well, the fact they were recording in this country, you know, and then all of a sudden we kind of switched up and we just decided let's chill, you know. So what people did was they came to Kenya, learned the concepts of even how to market music,
Right.
how to put out music, how to do different businesses,
Right.
and they took them to their countries. For example, if you look at Uganda, that Kapuka sound, the Kina Chameleon were doing, came from Kenya. He took
Right.
it back to his country, made it huge. We've got Kenyans. We got to support our own.
Now, speaking of that, we have what I had mentioned earlier, Stupid Boy, who's now trending
Yeah.
because Dr. Ofuneka was very upset. He hosts a show on TV 47 and he was like, I called this guy in for an interview, then last minute on a very drunk note was like, pay me or I'm not coming. In fact, don't call me, don't waste your time calling me, just pay me. And this is not like the first time these things are happening, you know. And understandably, you know, all of us are scraping and scratching, looking for that next coin. Like it has been a hard year for all of us.
Yeah.
Let's not even try the front. But of course, the debate has gotten even bigger because guys are like, okay, why do you want to get paid to promote your own music, to promote your personality, promote who you are? Now, they said they did not have a problem with facilitating. They were cool with facilitating. Yeah.
What does facilitating mean?
Facilitating would be fair lunch, that kind of thing, you know. So they were cool with facilitating. What they were not cool with was at the last minute, them being told to pay the guy to appear on an interview. And you know, this is where egos come into place. For the presenters' hands of like, I have a huge platform. You need me. Why do you think I should pay you? And for the artisans of like, I have a huge platform. I have over 2 million views on my song. Why do I need you?
I think they need each other.
Of course.
Yeah, stupid boy, you need to become clever. Yeah, you need to become clever first of all. Let's start from there. There's been that huge argument for a long time of people showing up on certain shows and being paid. Being paid for it. There's even an argument that Nyash doesn't go anywhere for no interview unless he's paid.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Nyash also has moved his brand to a certain level.
Wait, he
Well-
doesn't go for an interview unless he's paid.
But this is paid apparently. Apparently,
that's for real.
it's not the only one I've heard about that. There are a couple of people, but this is the thing. At the end of the day, you were invited for an interview.
Right.
You accepted.
Right.
And then last minute, you moved the goalpost. So how exactly did you think this would play out?
Right.
You did like, yeah, cool. Let's do this. And the honest thing is, and this is why I keep on bringing it up to people all the time. A lot of people don't understand the way media operates, and a lot of people don't understand the way the business of music operates.
Right.
And that's why things are not happening the way they should. A good question is like you're saying that if their music was played on radio, are you paying? Are you paying the radio? Because the radio can demand and say, yes, I know there's presenters who are underhand who'll be like, yeah, pay me. I'm not talking about paying them. I'm talking about paying radio.
Right.
I'm not talking about paying individuals. But if that went out and you were told to do that, would you do that?
It does bring a big question as to who deserves what. As much as, the media need content, they can get content from anywhere, And, like, there's always been this notion of, we don't support our own. The media don't give us interviews. They don't play our songs. But now with attitudes like this, like, what is your expectation if that's how you present yourself? And then secondly, for the artists, they want to feel a sense of appreciation, but how do they get that sense of appreciation?
I think how he should have gone about it, if it was me, and he felt that is something that he deserves. He should have like from the beginning say, hey, in a dignified manner, in a professional manner, like, yeah, I'd like to come for your show, but this is kind of what I need to make it at your show.
I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts. +254 788 380030. Who should pay whom? Should we be paid to play your music, or should we pay you to have you come into studio?
KRA should pay.
Or
they should pay us.
There are a lot of people on this
all
payroll.
The tax they're taking.
There are a lot of people on this payroll. There's KRA, there's MCSK, there's CAMP, there's PRISC, Tukoengi. So who should pay who? Let us know. +254 788 380030. We'll be sampling what you guys have to say also online after this.
This guy does.
Yeah. Lipo kabla makaburi kwa kaburi, kabla sura kitabu ilikuwa Injili na Zaburi, kipindi kama vitimbi na kisulisuli, kabla willpower sitolia na gloria mule, mizana na niwinda, Mungu ananilinda, dua za mama zinafanya kuna jambo linashinda, ovu yanapingwa kile napotunga, mnyama mkali ni simba ila pia wanga na kinga. Hip hop ku own hii title, no bongo flavor, no genge, no white, hizi city sound, ziki sound Niger, Kenya tuna Niger night, hakuna Kenya night Niger. Oya Buda, yuko wapi Caesar? Vigeti kala mashaka mesa ukula pizza. Wanauliza, kila show ni kitimba, hivyo ni freestyler ama una flow na unaimba?
Tulifanya sababu ya lava, tukuextract tuambiwa asante. Tunavunja mlango, wanangoja tubishe. Kama noma basi itakuwa noma, lakini sisi hatutakoma. Kama noma basi itakuwa noma, mbio tunasonga.
Usinite mkali, flow ni asali, mimi jabali na nimetoka mbali na bado naenda mbali, bado nasaka mali kwa fani na daimani. Nina imani kuwa nitabadili hali ili niweze kusaidia washikaji wote nyumbani. Haijalishi nikiandika ama ni freestyle kichwani, na keep it 100 so hakuna machwani. Unaweza nipata ghetto ndani na majamaa tukijadiliana mambo fulani, kama nani ndo nani kwa fani, nani ana vina, nani ana punchlines, nani ako na two jina. Niko yellow line full speed kama cheetah, thinking the main chick and I never cheat her, cause I couldn't wait to meet her. Now I have, I never leave her. I don't know if she know I need her, but she know she need me. Sometimes she act needy, sometimes niko club, sometimes me talking young G's. Yeah.
Tulifanya sababu ya lava, tukuextract tuambiwa asante. Tunavunja mlango,
Yeah, kila time ni boy wangu lakini anaimba the same all the time. Kila anaimba na pua.
Wali-expect fupi maneno za leso tuko kokoto si miti mchezo za lego mimi si city niko ligo get high na fuata maandiko zima ombido wanatishwa na baruti je wakiona mamluki we sigo
jirongi yako hapo
kubishana na jamaa fast time alikula silo nyaki can you feel my pain ushindi kwangu ni desturi kwako ni sabuni wawe level za helicopter ama na vumbi kwa malofa wanasikiza
nikileta ngoma za jirongi usiweke hapo.
Wengine wanasikiza
hiyo album yake
nikiwa na long day nakumbuka shote Bosco Bible Jesus rap
hiyo project Dandora Bani
kuna sababu ya lava tu kuexpect wa miwa sana
niliproduce ngoma ni Dandora Bani
wanagoja tubishe kama noma basi itakuwa noma lakini sisi hatutakoma kama noma basi
Tangala Goredi kwenye show yake hii Friday. Goredi. Tangale.
Unasikia ujabaa.
Na sasa si show yake iko Friday pia.
Dandora Juliaka mingi.
Yake ni saa ngapi?
Umeoa vibaya ajabu. Amemaliza man. Alafu na Gevo.
Sasa.
Namba 8 zaidi hapo.
Kama dawa.
47.
Na kweli kala moto. Umeua kaka.
Ya leo kali bana.
Kala moto. Swahili. Full typical 100
nzima. Kenya stand up au sio? Asante. Darasa limeisha. Funga kitabu. Tutaonana kesho.
Cheki. Niko na umati na ngoja ni perform nipe mic na mafans album pia wanachocha walai tugawane 50-50 kila mtu akwe fine kwa hivyo kasi biashara unanibongesha sidai kwa hivyo yo fika bay fika bay itabidi umefika bay fika bay itabidi umefika bay itabidi umefika bay Fika bay itabidi umefika bay cheki vitisho mza nini na mnajua bei ya mziki jo tuko era ingine ya digital na wase bado nataka fight physical sorry mkubwa jo misi criminal kwani una TV kwako heavyweight lyrical okay vipi jo unajua siasa za upuzi misiko na nilikushojo usini cross pande ingine pia mini boss kivyangu one phone call na ustake ona watatoka kijiko the situation critical daktari lokwak ni clinical juni surgery nitakutoa kwa misery au kuongeze suffering ni vile wewe utapenda na hiyo kazi yote ya kuachimba na kuakata mtu ya salary kwa hivyo fika bay itabidi umefika bay fika bay itabidi umefika bay itabidi umefika bay fika bay itabidi umefika bay analyze kila kitu kabla uamini wamekana life nyingi kaule pasta na dai panda mbegu kila kitu squeeze commercialize tuwezi tell uongo na ukweli difference jo wamekama flash mbaya ndani ya statistics wana terrorize innocent billion na children paralyze ndio state ya society na system jo parasites wamekula para ndani ya site color blind utakujua race ama tribe kwa hivyo nitasummarize nikwambie fika bay itabidi umefika bay
lakini hiyo beat hapana
fika bay
hiyo beat haiko sawa
itabidi umefika bay itabidi umefika bay
imelala sana
fika bay itabidi umefika bay
naishi life ya paka to the fullest, all 9 of them. So nataka cut yote, hand over the check. Na hizi kazi ya bure sundunge, doo zangu zote za vacation. Na by the way ni urefu wa makucha na makali ya meno, kata mbele na nyuma ulimi kama msumeno. Producer kwa track, mipak na maneno, magrupi na wasupo na jijua ko ebo. Cheers kwa ma-entrepreneur wangu wa ghetto, salute kwa wasanii na maarif jo. Yeah, kila kitu neza fanya sai, ishi sai, juu life pay na surprises, hata sai na price. Na kwa sacrifices zote tumefanya, itabidi wafike bei, fika bei. Fika bei, itabidi umefika bei. Fika bei, itabidi umefika bei. Itabidi umefika bei. Fika bei, fika bei, itabidi umefika bei.
Don't mind me. Watoto wako sana. Sikia. Ati don't mind me. Kwa nini niko club na mapeng wanataka kunidress, so sitens mina kamsai. Data inadai, natenje inadai, lakini stoke minta kamsai. Na sina ID, na banza akiuliza we mshow minta kamsai. Ati ati don't mind me. Niko club na mapeng wanataka kunidress, so sitens mina kamsai. Data inadai, natenje inadai, lakini stoke minta kamsai. Na sina ID, na banza akiuliza we mshow minta kamsai. Nita kamsai.
Colorblind but this year nangia colors, na between school na career ni kubalance, cause I'm the big man with a big swag. Ningekuwa ndula ningeitwa New Balance. Between life ama school career, bitch I made like 4M. Goja sasa this year niliomba sauti yangu ikuwe salary engineer. Sana big dog nikibakwa nasikia, approach with a caution kama silencer. Kuna dem huku nje sezi manager, na wanaanza kuniita ati caliber. Shots zangu zote kuwa loaded niko ndani big facts nigga, mazigzag nigga. Mradi zangu kote utawainita. Niko kwa ndege kitu na beat ni time lapse na jet lag, so I don't give a fuck.
Ati don't mind me. Niko club na mapeng wanataka kunidress, so sitens mina kamsai. Data inadai, natenje inadai, lakini usoke minta kamsai. Na sina ID, na bonza akiuliza we mshow nita kamsai. Nita
Found Johnny Moko chu, ching mimi na Jere tuko joma bling bling. Doba zetu mboaya, sindo real deal. Zeno bana ziko chini, sindo ma kingpin. Chuma ilale ndani, kaina 15. Mama unipa ganji, yona ita pimpin. Konyolo cup bana, we drinking. Nimefunga kilemba, kama sing-sing. Unabanja sana kuna venye unanipiska mkojo. Power puff girl, mindo mojojojo. Venye zigo shodo nazifikisha kwa lojo. Angalau come from, niko na maguni. Mbaka situ kidigidha mitambo. Yo haga na dandia kama donda na mlango. Jaba na mix ni za doba za kitambo. Kibif kama gera, njicho tafambo.
Niko club na mapeng wanataka kunidress.
Let me tell you, Tiso called me the other day.
Data inadai, natenje inadai, lakini usoke minta kamsai. Na sina ID, na bonza akiuliza we mshow nita kamsai. Nita kamsai.
Yeah, Doobies, CLD, DUPLEX. Wazee tumekom tena, K-South, twende kazi sasa.
Tuna blazes, more fire. Kila moja ana yake maze, ngoma imeshika sasa re. Tuna blazes, more fire. Kila moja ana yake maze, ngoma imeshika sasa re. I see the smoke pass out
must talk now. I see the smoke pass outside the window. Me give a puff in my next door neighbor. Hello, Miss Brown, me need must talk now. Hello, Miss Brown, me need must talk now. To the blazes. More fire, more fire, more fire, more fire. Kila moja anayake maze. Goma imeshika sasa hare. To the blazes. More fire, more fire, more fire, more fire. Kila moja anayake maze. Goma imeshika sasa hare.
Yeah, tajua hii ni ngoma gani mazee? Ka unajua jina Abasa Basu Bizim, you know how I do. Nina Indian kushna, chupa ya pushki, niko pushtin kwa jacket, ndani t-shirt kush na burn bush kama Moses za George Bush. Nikizanif magush ni upe dush, niko bila booze, nikispit kwa booth. Niko na kapienga ndani ya book, kama spares ndani ya boot. Museya, niko na zingine kwa booth.
To the blazes. More fire, more fire, more fire. Kila moja anayake maze. Goma imeshika sasa hare. To the blazes. More fire, more fire, more fire, more fire. Kila moja anayake maze. Goma imeshika sasa hare.
Uko home umeboeka na mood ziko down, ungecheki around, ipiga maround, fika downtown kwa Miss Brown, ucheki maze zile za pound, zile zina fanya vichwa zina bow down. Ushatupa mbao, wale keitao, usijo wachana nao, wako zao, ambia makarao, misina kirea, munafikiria, tumutaningilea, munafikiria, timaita wachilia, nasikilia kaboops kwa sindilia.
Mbaka ni point kamera juna noma na gitch boy, onanikani yeye naambia.
Crowd ya shangilia, apas kumalizia, munamezea, ni ya wazea, wase, masense, ni ya wazea, wako, masense, ni ya wazea, wako, masense.
To the blazes. More fire, more fire, more fire. Kila moja anayake maze. Goma imeshika sasa hare. To the blazes. More fire, more fire, more fire. Kila moja anayake maze. Goma imeshika sasa hare.
Wazee ya Joe, poleni nimechelewa kidogo. Traffic ya ma MCs kibao, sinajua tu vile industry na kuanga. Wazee vile nimefika hapa Johnny, Mungu anajua Joe. Mimi namshukuru. Big up Duplex. Yes bro. Wazee chupa ya Hiram. Saini beat kali mzee ya. Wazee ya wa Kesha, Westy, wazee ya wa Easty, wazee ya Dandora, Wazeya, UK, Double O, Wazeya, Waziwa, Eyo, Costo, Mambo VP, Bongo TZD, Machisi na Manyamwezi, Wazeya,
Now we're around like they just don't care. And if you know you got some clean underwear, or somebody said,
Tosha boss, tosha.
Incoming original tune by Jonas #1 champion hip-hop kind of thing this.
Labda nina love juu, sina hate. Witness wa fate, mapath separate. Wase wa young na ambitions za kuwa great. Experience our past ndio class za kutu shape. Trauma ni noma, hate to trauma. Na bado utamit msepe kwa corner. Boy and die form, them and die gonna. Na get your form next day hutawaona. Sitakuwa depressed, na breathe in my lesson, breathe out my stress. Hewa safi kwa lung, fanya mwili irest. Wezi baki umejam, ukikubali ulimess. Ndabeba noma, ndaji blame, juzi kwa rada. Ndaji change, na next time tukimit. Sitatan sikujui weni tupache lesson ililang. Kwa maboy waliwaini toka, na wale wali change, na wale wali change. Na madem walidhani sitasonga. Sina noma, kwa madem waliwaini toka, na wale wali change, na wale wali change, na maboy walidhani sitasonga. Sina noma kama bado una show hawawezi kumention, lakini kupata do kulikuwa na potential. Watatoma testimony na ma confession, vile juzi leo na jana, leo na kesho. Mtondo na mtondoko nisifa juu ya do, simba best ni maina ndani ya ngozi ya kondo. Ukweli ni ukweli na kusensa yezi show, ni uongo kani ukweli wite washu mama cho. Haijalishi kama unabidi wataksari ukiwa chini, mwili yangu wa msikiti itabidi njiamini. Nikitamak na kisivi nikiandika hizi lyrics ni rahisi, sitawaza nikiwa busy, na hata niwe alone sitajali walai. Najua siezi phone keke imani kwa rhyme, juu mziki natoka kwa soul, nataka gendi ya kiti na itatoma classic mpaka nifike miaka 105. Kwa maboy waliwahi toka, na wale wali change, na wale wali change, na madem walidhani sitasonga. Sina noma kwa madem waliwahi nitoka, na wale wali change, na wale wali change, na maboy walidhani sitasonga. Sina noma.
Yeah, boy. You want to know with I and I? I'm the original Dan Dada. Nah, joke on this.
Dandara. Yeah, kauko fulani lazima tushukuru God kwa pale ametufikisha mzee on fire. Ndio maana tunamshukuru na roho yetu yote, God tusamehe. Yeah. Mungu Baba, utufunike na mabawa, protection tukijaza snare kick na bar. Ndani ya commandments kuna reward na customer za mwili. Mtu ano devil anatumia mtoke mbali na God. Kila mtu wanakana devil na matendo yako inakuuza. Unapenda God la si hivyo.
Dora banning, uko flani, fanya kweli. Ushaisikianga hii, ushaifganga di, ushafikianga mi. Naweza badilisha industry, fanikisha maisha hii. Venye na dunda na beat, wanajipunga na mi. Ukijiunga na di, waka unga na ni.
Unajua tena, uko flani mau Dandora banning, fanya kweli.
Yes. Tumetoka Dandara, place maswala ni chafu kutoka Dandara. Tuna plans za ma project kwa ma youths wenye plans za kudandalas. Uko flani mau. Tumetoka Dandara, place maswala ni chafu kutoka Dandara. Tuna plans za ma project kwa ma champs wenye plans za kudandalas. Uko flani mau.
Jeshi la wokovu, maaskofu, sijui tutaita mandingi mwananzeki. Msiwe na hofu, manzeju jana niliona ndovu. Wengi mkukio moto ilikuwa ready for combat. Moments koda, ni picha za investigation za koda. Hapo ndio utapata kuona vile wali sign deal na devil. History ni Kylie ya K na Ebo, roundikini kwenye vina table.
Wakichukulia kindness for weakness, lazima table zitanishwe. Mashetani watu nao tu wapigwe. Uoni sisi on CCTV kwa mtaa, penye dhiki maskini kukoseshwa faraja. Sikiza hizi future plans baraza, yenye wametuweka nao nia yao kutushaka kidrill. Sitazama sincerely, sita change identity, kiakili thibitisha kiskill mini soldier.
Kweli nani, noma nani, ita mamako, leta babako, lete ndugu zako, dadako pia, Dandora vamia, jeshi ingia. Hii shit yote ni fucked up. Mau for the next government shit. Fala tu, ini take over kali shinda ya 1982.
Yeah.
Nafungua vizibao fasuda jatimu, nachanganya na asali kwenye track ninatapika sumu. Mzee wa kazi jikoni napika makeke, kushiro tarabu tikisha sikizeni madebe. Karibuni tucheze na pwani kuna washa mwenge, gentleman tunasikata sinenge. Ingiane mtulize, mufurahia mtunzi weka mfai washa pamoja tuselebuke. Sasa sikizani hip hop mfuraike tukatuke, mangoma mpaka che.
Pamoja Sounds Alliance, Andaki Project Studios. Na kufreeze ka breeze anotika chika notika mapankela na kamtena na stopi nyingi shinda makapela wa mastopi tela wajela. Hapa nilipo sipo, hapo sipo ndipo nilipo. Malipo hip hop kwa high table ya tempo, na taban ka kepo na kupanga mapepo. Riswa unatokomea peponi.
Yeah, hata usiulize tena, si unajua ni kina nani, ni ukoo fulani. Hizo mistari wewe mwenyewe ukisikia unaona ni raw kali. Na kwa wale wana psych nini, wanaweza tafuta ule jamaa anaitwa Pilipili awapatie morali. Yeah, otherwise my bitch niggas wanna pitch nigga, yeah. So unajua tena fulani andaki studio.
Yeah, Shua Mununga. Bana tuko 56 sao. Fulani karibu na Sivo. Kidogo juu ya
Dandora Face 2.
Stage fulani pale inaitwaje noma sana. Omari. Hii studio ni ya Kambi UKWU alhamdulillah.
56.
Tuliza bomba wasanii kibao. Tatuliza mjomba maukatwe kibao. Bwana tunasonga.
Swale niko hustling kwa days ni majavelin na makiz kipiano man. Hisi ni jambo sana. Come again. Disi tusha master game. Jibushe na wenyeji name. No si hesitate, yeah.
Yo, Kenya, wagwan. Give me some real hip-hop vibes.
Yo.
See? Big up all the Kenya Massive. Hey, this is Ruby from London. Bigging up all the Kenya Massive. Wagwan, Kenya.
Hey yo, Zika wika Afrika naliandika ni trash kubalika. Fichua liyofichwa tisha kama sita tatu. Ni zaidi ya mitaa tatu na acha watu nikiambia kila najua kila upitia kila siku ndani ya matatu uko juu. Hey yo, bendera ya uko juu. The way nafanya kazi wasanii wanakimbilia kodu.
Tifikise, ujumbe nipashe. Bote kokote pasoja wanaenda bato. Waimbaji wa mziki wa kizazi kipya. Kuna vipaji vya sanaa taji nasi. Tuko on toes, tuna kick those. Ma outlaws kusweet jaws. Ma uppercut, ma jab, ma guard. Kwa yule msanii kasemi kitu kwa rekodi.
Unaweza dhani tuli break back of baroda after kuama ile plot iko na choi kwa out of order. Sasa tuko kwa bed sheet za sarova, maboda magova hawezi tu stress na hoda amepotelea Ocean 11. Watu hawezi ka straight paka maji straight atoe lo nyingine ya kuwa ka straight ku avoid nje. Unaweza dhani tuli break
Dandora na nguo AKA Buru Kenge. Napiga MC Pasenge. Kuwakaba kuvua chini kihuni jina dijenge. Jingani lenge bado nangoja kuwa kenge. Uliza Frank na ndo fundi kama CUK Fulani changu kikundi. Vipanga kwa instru majabu ya bundi. Utani kuta kwenye kona mariko nimemkaba simu na mpokonya. Keja patikani kwa sasa shaponyoka.
Nikiendelea angalau kuweka akiba ama fala angazao wananichimba. Ni kamera imepata Al-Qaeda imetosha tempa. Tosha tupotosha chemba. Iko chini ya mchanga ninashanga zanga juu. Kaa shida ingekuwa mali ningekuwa tajiri jua kuchanga tu. Zinaongezekanga tu daily hazipunguki bala. Inafanya saa zingine unafichwa sila.
Wacha kero, wacha kibuvi. Wembaya, wemzuri, duniani mwisho nikabuvi. Natoa jasho la damu kusema ukweli. Mpende mspende ukuflani maumau. Ni wajukuu wa mtume kaya hipo mtusukume. Mambo salama sharama na pepa ngao ya upendo bado. Navuka visima vya moshi nanua mikono. Bye bye kwa matajiri wane makafiri. Ni mnaponda jina si tojenga jina wona leta mseo. Mpumbavu we mupana vunja bavu. MC shipavu moto upaye ndo tunakubana na msoto.
Mutatusikia kwenye radio ama tunatembea na jaa. Hawawezi understand so watashangaa. Uko flani mau mau how we roll in the streets. Bad man can't hate you, we ripping them beats. And AZAZ representing the chicks. And my jamas done your ghetto who is feeling this mix. Mutatusikia kwenye radio ama kwenye CDs. Pitching the words of the ghetto pia kwenye TV. Uko flani mau mau.
Shika masaa 4 za usiku niko hiyo club imebamba mbaya sana. Shaka bado 2 hours saa 6 usiku. Ketefa imeisha. Kutepa wenyewe ati wamesota. Alafu nasikia nikiuliza ni saa ngapi juu wanajua ni saa 6. Ati sasa hiwezi mkajaribu. Na bambu huko nje na mamba. Sawa natakaje tudunge hapo mpaka Ngware. Hakuna eni kubangaiza tu ati tunadunga club. Niliambianga chini ndio kwa chini. Mpaka home. Kaenda kulala mimi.
Ya na madawa kali.
MC wengi mabraza meno wanaongea nyingi hawana hisia nia wamepotea njia sana sio yao wameivamia hawana idea wanajifanyia mwisho wa siku wanaishia kushikilia mikia wana fasizi nazoziza kusimulia akili zao zinagonga kufurahia changa wana matatizo ya kisaikolojia hisia hii ndio inanijia kuharibia
Hustler.
Yo, X, aka Cons, is right here checking in, ready to begin as I start the new legends. I'm here with legends, and I'll probably be the veteran, cause y'all know already who I'm better than. There could be klepto, unnecessary noise, as I come here ready to deploy what I came there when I stir noise. X, you probably hear the buzz when your girl's talking about me, and I probably show you what I bet when I probably cooking and stuff. Y'all cooking something else, y'all probably be down, cause y'all come and do it down. Y'all wanna see who come with it in ski, cause you dudes suck, just like Monica Lewinsky. Yo, what up, what up? It's X, aka Conjure, straight from the USA, staying up in Maryland, D.C. Coming down to Kenya, so love, that's where I'm from, that's what I'm doing. We gonna make this break up in Maryland, and that's what we bout. That's what's up. Holla, legends in the building. X, Conjure, 1.
Yeah, you heard that? We talk about real hip-hop blazing. Big up, worldwide. It's my man Cheese and Brain. Uko Flani Mau Mau, Dandara hot burning. We coming after y'all. Uko Flani Mau Mau, Buddha Blaze. We signing off with the real heads, you know, Nairobi, KenyanHipHop.com. You know, we come through like that. Cheese and Brain, signing off with a real hip-hop, real, raw, rugged. We don't care, the streets is burning. Dandora's watching, bro.
Dandora est en flamme. Nous sommes tous dans le caniveau, mais certains d'entre nous regardent les étoiles. Alors, les deux pieds dans le ghetto et la tête au soleil, l'armada Mao Mao hurle ses Mao. Éveille. Et moi, je suis là dans la cabine, le cœur en vrac, l'âme en vrille. J'amorce une dédicace pour ces gens-là, persistants, perspicaces, qui commencent à luer bien bas, Uko Flani, Dandora.
DJ Do, Destination Africa, One Extra, BBC, representing Uko Flani Mau Mau.
My name is Binyavanga Waidena. I'm a writer for Kwani. Na tuna undugu na Uko Flani Mau Mau. Dandora is burning.
Yeah. Yo, this is Jeff for MTV Base Africa, representing UG, representing Uganda Hip Hop Foundation.
Nairobi is burning with creativity.
Uko Flani Mau Mau, Dandora, worldwide.
Uko Flani Mau Mau, UK double O.
Molo piazza della DJ, in dialetto salentino. Rispetto agli Uko Flani e agli Mamma, questo è il mio messaggio. Nairobi, Dandora, rispetto.
Ecco i Kuflani, l'ho toccati con le mani, vissuti ai Milani. Ma con i Mau Mau, anch'io faccio wow.
Yes, tumetoka Dandara, there's maswala ni chafu kutoka Dandara. Tuna plan za project kwa youths wenye plan za kudandalas. Uko Flani Mau Mau, tumetoka Dandara.
That was Dandora Burning 2 with Uko Flani Mau Mau. If you didn't know, Jimmy was on the Dandora Burning 1.
Yeah.
There are a lot of tracks you've been on. In fact, you're the one who produced also the Breakfast Jams Jam of the Week. Twekire. In fact, we should put that next.
Justin Black.
Justin. Is it Justin Black? It's called Justin Black.
Yeah, Mshiri.
A.K.A. Maremba.
Yeah.
Very nice song.
Came to me, I'm the one who said, hey man, let's go ethnic.
Right.
There's been no one from Embu that's done something urban.
I've never heard Kiembu on a song before.
Yeah.
Maybe it happened in, festivals, music festivals. I just didn't know what it was, but I've never heard Kiembu.
Yeah, but he killed it. He's a good vocalist.
Very, very.
He's a good vocalist. You wouldn't even know if you met him.
And that was a complex beat. Like for anybody to be able to, if you gave me that beat, I would have never known what to do with it. Ever.
When I played it for him, he's like, okay, how do you think we should go about it?
I know, where do you start?
So I told him, yeah, let's just keep it, the thing was keep it simple, but also bring that element of, because he has that element of R&B.
Yes.
So to still keep that there, because that's him now. That will never change.
Right.
But he's definitely doing a great job.
Right.
Both in the acting world and in the music world.
Yeah, he's a star. He's an actual star. For real, he's a star. He's an award-winning star.
Yeah, he's representing Kenya on the map. He's representing the Embu culture, the Embu people.
Embu. So like Embu is not like the words I was saying. It's not too far from Cuke, yeah.
Yeah, it's actually quite. For me, I find it a bit complicated
Right.
because it almost sounds similar.
Right.
Very similar. In fact, someone was telling me the other day there's some words that are like in Kikuyu that are similar to it. They're not far apart.
Right.
You know, just like sometimes also when you hear South Africans talk, they have these Swahili words.
They do.
You
Because
know?
it's Bantu. It's all Bantu.
Yeah, that you hear, you're like, hey, that's straight up Swahili.
Right.
Right. Yeah, I remember even this one of the big international beefs that's coming up. We talked about this last week, but it was about Tyler. You know, and how she considers herself not black, but colored.
Well,
You
you
know?
know, people just need to dig into the history of a country to be able to understand where she's coming from.
But the other thing about her music is, and I was watching this documentary, people felt that she shouldn't have won that Grammy. It should have
Why?
gone to Shoma Josie. You know? Remember Shoma Josie?
But Shoma Josie didn't have music that was trending throughout the States
She had-
and Europe.
She had,
and
she had Sina.
yeah,
Remember
but Sina was somehow being played. Didn't get heavy rotation like Tyler. Like Tyler has a very good team.
But you've got to also look at the way Shoma Josie looks compared to Tyler.
Oh,
Tyler, not in a bad way, but she comes up with this hippie kind of like hair and everything.
Oh my God! If we
And-
get into looks, that's different.
And then another thing is I found out that I seen there's some people are talking about the thing behind it. Apparently the videographer for Shoma Josie, they were originally dating.
Ew,
And that videographer started dating Tyler. So he took his team and the other one started pushing.
So how come they didn't push then Shoma Josie as much as they did
But
Tyler?
the thing people need to understand is people would like to downplay it, but image really pushes your music.
Right.
The last guy who had, I think, a Grammy from South Africa was Hugh Masekela. You know?
Right.
And if you look at it, like, there are artists who are talented. Because really, if you look at Amapiano,
Yeah.
it came from the Kwaito sound, the bass lines and what, huh?
Right.
And for example, TKZ. Remember TKZ family?
Right.
Hey,
How can we
Nairobi.
forget?
You couldn't go anywhere
When
without
did we
hearing
make them
TKZ.
famous?
One getter. You hear that song? You're like, you can't go anywhere without hearing that tune.
100%.
And so it's like, so when you look at someone like Brenda Fassie, who could really sing,
Yeah.
ask yourself why. She never even there was no interest in outside labels. Like there
I
are a
think
lot
she
of
also held herself back, you know, because
Yeah.
everything with promotion requires you to be present. And remember, she had a very long battle with drugs, huh?
yeah, she did.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of talented artists. But let's be honest.
Let's give
a lot
Tyler
of-
her flowers.
A lot of them in terms music has to do with image. I was
Right.
watching this documentary the other day. I love watching documentaries about Milli Vanilli.
Right.
You remember Milli Vanilli?
Right.
From the 90s?
Yep.
Those guys were miming.
Right.
And they won a Grammy.
Right.
And they went to perform. And they were miming. Then Steve Miley and the pop.
Like Ashley Simpson.
Yeah, then they were busted.
Mhm.
They were busted. And then, but there's one guy who still sings today. The other guy passed away. But he actually does tours. And he can kind of sing. He actually can kind of sing. But Milli Vanilli were chosen. This is my point I'm coming to. They were chosen because they started out as being models.
Right.
They were chosen not based on their singing.
Because they look good.
They're
Damn it.
based on the. So this is my thing about Shoma Josie and Tyler. You see, Shoma Josie has that energy when she gets on stage. She has that energy, but maybe her image wasn't the best for selling major records. But Tyler has that image, even though she can sing. She can sing.
I think also the stage performance, that's what trended. When she went on stage and poured water on her back, that was the move that got everybody going crazy.
But then let's be honest, she doesn't have the Ramadan bump on the backside.
Well, whatever she
Tukitu kweli, ana ako flat ka kitabu. Eh? That's the truth, you know, like how some people look.
awkward.
You see, you've seen that picture of that's been in Kenya on Facebook of Kikuyu chicks and Jango chicks. Eh?
This is just awkward. I feel like you're having the conversation on that side.
No,
and
but
on this
the
side.
thing
I
I'm
think
trying
the
to
conversation
the
belongs
thing
on
I'm trying
that
to say
side.
is this: when you look, okay, let's go to R&B. For example, Aaliyah.
Mhm.
Aaliyah to me wasn't the greatest vocalist.
Oh, I loved her voice. Oh,
She was sing on one particular flat key. That was her thing. But you see what people did? They loved Aaliyah because her personality.
Yes, and she could dance.
And
she could act.
And she looked good. Now the thing is, any artist that has come majority, apart from people like Mary J. Blige and other people, majority of them have to, and that's how the music industry has been crafted. You have to look a certain way for you to move up the ladder. That's how it is.
But I'm
talking about female artists, not male artists, but female artists.
To Tyler's credit, we're in the day and age of trends.
It is trends.
And TikTok. And when you're made on TikTok, you are made everywhere. And that move of pouring water on her back, that's what made Tyler.
And then the other thing came up was those numbers are not original, they're fake.
Jeez.
No one is saying that her music is not trend, but you know as well as I do. You can go online now on YouTube and buy numbers.
100%. If that worked for her,
and then this is the thing. She brought up her follower song. Now she's always said that she loves Aaliyah and people like Aaliyah. You know? So she's into R&B. She's still into R&B. Have you seen her next song?
Yeah, it's kind of trash, but
it's not. It doesn't. And
I don't like it. It's not the best. It's not a good follow up.
And the thing is, for her to remain her follow up, and this is what I tell artists all the time. I was talking to Justin about his song that he didn't hear. I asked him, "So what's your follow up?" Right. Your follow up has to be close to the original. It cannot. But Tyler went from one end genre to another. Like, and people are like, even the people who are fan base are like, "What the heck is this now?"
Right. Guys are not impressed by her follow-up song, but she is a sellable brand, as you're saying. She's got Givenchy dressing her for Met Gala. She's got Gap doing collaborations with her. Like, she's a sellable brand.
And she's
going to last for a very long time.
Do you know why she's sellable? Once again, I checked this out. A friend of mine told me, go check her out, her story, and figure it out. So the lady who signed her on, and I spoke about this last time, the lady who signed her on, the executive producer, this white lady from America, she's the same one who signed on Missy Elliott.
No, there you go. It's just
big brand. So the thing about brands, and I was explaining this to someone, brands have a way they play because she's gotten her first Grammy and no one really knew about her. And this is the thing. This is how brands operate. They know how to operate in the Grammys. They know what to do because they want to push their particular artists to get to the exposure that they need.
Exactly.
You know? They do the same thing in the time of Ray Charles.
Exactly. And he was a blind artist, you know. And even even if you look at people like also Elsa Majimbo versus Rono is loved here in Kenya. And everybody was saying, like, Elsa Majimbo has the blueprint of Chebet, and Chebet is hilarious, you know. But Elsa was at the right place at the right time with and then developed the right team.
But I don't find her funny, man. I've tried to laugh at her jokes. Like, I've tried. Like, the only thing, like, maybe if you give me onions, I'll laugh and cry at the same time. But I do not find, like...
Follow Cheverano. She's very funny.
I'm sure there's other people who are funnier. But you're right.
Opportunity, man.
Opportunity. What is the right time? And we come locally, man... Let's give it up to Sarkut, man. He also took opportunity.
100%.
It's not like people don't understand Sarkut, the way you know him, Wagana. In fact, his real name, Gerald Wagana.
Wagana. Yeah,
his first name is Gerald.
Wagana.
People don't realize that is one of the first Sheng rappers in Kenya.
Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, those days, he had a song called, when we first got together as a crew, he had a song called Testimony of a Gondi.
I used to be scared of Wagana. I used to be scared of him. He had this rough look, and he was very outspoken. He was very out there. And then even his rhymes were just like, like you come so hard on the beats.
And then when we formed our group later, after our community called Mobjalia,
it's
called Men of Bonafide Blessings, that's what it stood for. Those were the eras of too many big words, you know, in 98, 99, that was big words. So I remember Sarkut's like, let's do Lingala, because that time Lingala was really hitting in Kenya.
I can imagine him doing Lingala.
We did a Lingala track as the crew.
Oh my god.
And so he came up with the lyrics. I remember. They used like this, Nasani husuyo, husuko na husuko, pasale nasapa.
I remember that song. Alright.
You know him, he was deep in Sheng. Us, we were not deep in Sheng. He was he's living good.
Say that again?
Every track, I think, Nasani husuyo. Husuko na husuko. Pasale na sapa. Ni Yesu. Yeah, that's Sheikh for that time. And Sakir, whenever he got on the
Translation?
it's like wherever we go here, there, Jesus is the main, you know? And it's like anytime he jumped on the mic, this is how he would get on the mic. You say, hey, Wagana, Sakid Wagana. And then he'd say, Buru, phase 4, 735. So you knew where he lived. Every time, that's how he used.
But he was gospel, so it was
Yeah,
right.
but then the thing is, Manyake came out much later on. I remember with his cousin, Joel. It came out later on. Then there's the issue about Pigne. You know, DJ Pigne.
Right.
You know, and how he treated when he came up with his show. Because Pigne, I remember Pigne from back in the days when he was DJing. In fact, he was on that project for Hearthstone. You know, I remember that time. You know, those times he would walk around with these vinyls, you know. That's how he used to DJ. But then the thing is, like, is there truth to that Pigne did artists wrong? Now, on one side, people can be saying that artists are crying wolf and saying they're just whining. Their music was never that good, and that's why he didn't play it. But that's not the absolute truth. He went out of his way. He went out of his way to only play certain artists. And there are very few, by the way. And a lot of them were the artists that he was managing. So guess what? Ding, ding, ding. If we had an effect, play that. Conflict of interest. You know?
That's true.
Like when you're promoting your artists majorly, you know, and then the other ones you're shunning down. A lot of guys would, and then Sakut brought this whole long essay.
But I read it from beginning to the end.
And then people said, oh, yeah. Before he had brought out something, they're like, where are the facts? Don't test Sakut, man.
Right.
When you test him, he's going to come out with some stuff you don't want to hear.
You guys are the vault, to be very honest.
So,
you remember everything.
He came up with even stuff, even I was trying to remember some of those names. Talked about Luch. Talked about Ogopa.
Forgot about even Luch.
Yeah, like me, I'd forgotten about Luch. You know, he started talking about people who were there back in the days.
Right.
How Amani played the game on him. She pretended the song was written there. Just
I didn't even know that.
Like, you know, and it's just like he brought out facts about it. And to be honest, like, it's easy to take a side and say that Pigne was in the right because he looked like the Uptown Boys, the DJ boys that time.
And trying to bring quality to the game.
But the thing is, it doesn't matter what you think. You don't bring quality by putting down other people.
You know, one thing Sakit said that was very true. There were guys who had whack videos, but they made it to #1 in the hip hop charts.
True.
You know, like Akina, the Immortal Techniques, the Who and Who. Like they didn't have the well pressed, edited videos. But the moment they hit the streets, guys were going mad, you know. So, and even some of the music that Pigne played on the beats, not all of them were up to par. You know,
True.
He's the one who introduced us, and I'm not trying to downplay it, to each their own. But, you know, we were listening to Akina Ogopa as of LA. And then, you know, we started being introduced to now Akina, Paulina, and we're like, okay, all right, I'll listen and give it a chance because I love the beat. Until now we grew to love it. We got introduced to Lady S. Nobody would have dared put Lady S on the radio back in the day if it wasn't for the beat, you know. So, like, it wasn't like all of them were up to a certain standard, but he managed to play them.
Even vocally, they weren't up to a certain standard. Like, let me be honest. Like, for me, I really don't care what people think about me. I'm always going to have my opinion, and I'm going to say my opinion. I was like Amani's first producer. She was in a gospel group called Sobriety, straight out of high school. Yeah, if I'm not wrong, they were from Gandu Girls. You know? Straight out of high school. Her real name, I knew her as Cecilia, and then changed to Amani.
Cici.
There were like six ladies in that group.
Right.
She probably, to me, was one of the weakest vocalists in the group. But
to be honest, I never liked her voice. To be honest,
her voice was weak. It was flat. A lot of times just go off key. But the thing about it was this: in the group, and I have to agree to this, she was the most determined to succeed.
True. Opportunity.
Yeah. So the thing is, a lot of times in music, it's not always about who you know. It's not always about how well you can hit those ad-libs and seeing on which key.
Yeah.
It's a lot of times it's like someone even said the other day, Tank was saying the other day, I saw him talking about, he was saying that there's a lot of artists out there like Babyface. He said Babyface is one of the most flat singers. But Babyface, how many hits? He had loads of hits, you know? And so it's about you being determined. Now, one thing I can say about Sakut from day one when I met him, he was always determined. He never cared about whether you liked him. He's still like that till today. He never really even gave
And it was heartbreaking reading that about how he narrated that he borrowed 200K from his Zix to make a video and it was trashed immediately. It was heartbreaking.
And by the way, his dad, in case you don't know, his dad is the one that owned the famous Friends Club in
Buruburu. Yeah.
Later it was changed to the name Players, but it was no longer their family that owned it. So, like, he believed in his talent so much that he's like, okay, this guy is saying this for me to make it good.
And he tried.
Let me go improve myself. He even was accused that his face is too hard to be in a music video. And Impinye was bringing up the standard of how many hard artists are. For example, have you looked at Ice-T's face?
And Craig Mack?
Do you know Ice-T looks like Sakut?
I think like there's nothing like that. Come on.
Yeah, it kind of looks.
Even Bosco, when he came out with his big mouth, like he was still on music videos.
Yeah, I think so. That is downplaying, and that thing where he called was it Lucha or Goban and was lecturing them on the phone.
That was harsh. Do you agree, especially if you're an artist from back in the day? Do you feel till now artists are not being given the airplay they deserve? Let us know on +254 788 380030. We'll go into the music. We'll also be sampling some of the things that have been said online in regards to artists versus the media.
Ya, si unajua tena mambo fulani, kila mtu hapo hapa juu ya maganja na nini, peupe pasafi, tunaelewa, yani maziwa buda.
Fresh from Paris. Inile mbaya, mambo bad. Mambo ile mbaya. Chirongi. C4. Nick Punk. Si ushikisha ile mbaya. Si utingisha ile mbaya. Mkono juu ya hewa ile mbaya. Na kama mjui ni ile mbaya. Si utikisha ile mbaya. Si utingisha ile mbaya. Mkono juu ya hewa ile mbaya. Na kama mjui hii ni ile mbaya. Nikatoka D ama vipi. Nikaland P ama vipi. Na reframe fame ama vipi. Na reclaim game ama vipi. Nashika mayuro, boy wa dandora. Jeshi ya sorora, inakondora. Kushinda Gomora, ona kombora. Nashiba na mola, ile kahora. Napenda kungara, ama vipi. Kuwa mkuu wa 254, ama vipi. Sijamua kukaivo, ama vipi. Mina sako ka usiku sako kim sako. Si ushikisha ile mbaya. Si utingisha ile mbaya. Mkono juu ya hewa ile mbaya. Na kama mjui ni ile mbaya. Si utikisha ile mbaya. Si utingisha ile mbaya. Mkono juu ya hewa ile mbaya. Na kama mjui hii ni ile mbaya. Iwe ni usiku, iwe ni mchana, wao ni saluti kila kona, wao ukuluti kila
kona, gotea ma youthman kila kona. News wa ma story, news wa mangori, na daily na skuma rumba, chilling medi kwa nyumba, navuta kifredi kuga, na pedi ametuma uba, kila itamoshika ufuba, navutia hadi fuba, nafukuza hadi madumba, yanka shuba, wananiranking kashaba, na walenga kashaba, na mziki na lima shamba, na hapa tu ni kusamba, na game nishaipa mimba, na nikapandisha riba, si ushikisha ile mbaya, si utingisha ile mbaya, mkono juu ya hewa ile mbaya, na kama mjui ni ile mbaya, si ushikisha ile mbaya, si utingisha ile mbaya, mkono juu ya hewa ile mbaya, na kama mjui hii ni ile mbaya, 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 ama vipi, mbaya, 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 ama vipi.
I wasn't joboa, hardcore tunaiokoa. From workness to BS, wazi boy tunaikomboa. Tunageuza tu its finest kuacha mekondoa. Kisha michezo, tunaifunga vile loa. Wasn't joboa, hardcore tunaiokoa. From workness to BS, wazi boy tunaikomboa. Tunageuza tu its finest kuacha mekondoa. Kisha michezo, tunaifunga vile loa.
First of all, na commence kufanya phone MCs what tense. Una rap every time lakini una rap nonsense. In real sense, find your rap song when him dance. Kukosa sini sana tumia microscope bila lens. Na suggest tukae mbali kawezi ondoka. Usibishane na smogies yenu imebomoka. Size yenu same kama kwa sweets vile za hoka. Lakini trippy nani? Kijana mchafu kutoka east. Kama jigsaw puzzle na flip rhymes piece by piece. Experience law ina matter. Tukichapa show tuko fiti. Mike na ivunja kamti ya kibiriti. Na si show tadhani nini don't carry a miti. Kata tikiti, winge club na kupanjiti. Tuna story riot. Kisha na engage my santi running battles. Jatuna hassle. Siezi acha rap ni enda lord wa kuraso katu. Mulize broka to. Na lyrics tam kuliko badko. Sangu na get comfort kuliko kabza jatko. Na test my stars. Na test me no ask kwa jamudi. Nafanya kimaksudi. Ujui. Nataka ni damage ya career. Ni kuacha ni critical condition. Ni kuacha kwa hali ya maututi. Kuanza katika isikuti. Na kodisha ni mbaya makuti. Fanya zako zenze kubaska baruti. Kwa rap game ni asante ya punda ni buti. Ma producer kutuwe sort kisha kututupa kama mkuki. Lakini saini time kufungeo mchezo bila ndoa. Spread kila pahali Kenya mzima kila mkoa. Ndo mna label shupeness hardcore Swahili rap floor. Safisha rap vile omo utoa madoa doa. Jopoa.
I wasn't joboa, hardcore tunaiokoa. From workness to BS, wazi boy tunaikomboa. Tunageuza tu its finest kuacha mekondoa. Kisha michezo, tunaifunga vile loa. Wasn't joboa, hardcore tunaiokoa. From workness to BS, wazi boy tunaikomboa. Tunageuza tu its finest kuacha mekondoa. Kisha michezo, tunaifunga vile loa. Yeah, kuna rumors in a spread. Artist smoke is true. Attitude lose my skills. The man I do material be real. I was he rock the crowd, he could feel. I was he break the mic, I was he check the MIC. Una diss what MCs, when mwenye what MC. Una use words if you understand, I was he spell. Una rap, I'm on debate, I'm sorry, una tell. Ako true kwa hii game, hata yako ni kusell. Stambi ya marambili, sani sina time na nyinyi tunipe microphone na beat. Relax and take a shit. Nizi combine sucker, ni wape black beach. Sawa, una get my props kwa radio stations. Wata kubato tena mbona acha kufilm ndani ya basin. Boy na kufedisha niache umelani ya lesson round ya pili. Fyota konyo facial expression siko kwa X-Files. Lakini activities zangu ni paranormal. Nachafua na any issue yende faster ama mdogo. Inafaa utrust sani siwezi walega. I rock unatamaya kikiwa moja tunaipass kama mpira. Lyrics on the ready, nazipakana in mila. Check it sunny, hardcore tunaiyoko. Smogy sukishtea party, hawezi toboa. Joboa, Joboa, hardcore tunaiokoa. From Waknesh to BS, wazi boy tunaikomboa. Tunageuza tu its finest kuacha mekondoa. Kisha michezo, tunaifunga vile ndoa. Joboa, Joboa, hardcore tunaiokoa. From Waknesh to BS, wazi boy tunaikomboa. Tunageuza tu its finest kuacha mekondoa. Kisha michezo, tunaifunga vile ndoa. Microphone breaker, 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 breaker. Microphone breaker, 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 breaker. Check your sector, tuna resurrector toka holy city of Mecca. Tumerudi na stylist ya kushinda mudi na malezi natupa. Heyo, misvunji mfupa, navunja microphone kama pale siko. Tumini noma hata kushinda liko lyrico. Au sivyo, jumina microphone kama vaite na veve. Hatuwezi achana ni kama mjaluo na sembe. Ndo ninawashike kama pombe ndani ya mkebe. That's true, tuna speed, list me and my crew. Mtoto wa East wana ilike yo, kama ilisi brew. Tumini black boy, tumini black boy. Napenda microphone vila to, you penda toes. Ndo nasikia ngoma zangu, they mix with the homeboys. Mkubali msikubali, damn, sisi ni wakali. Uliza manzi yangu sekati, kwa nyumbangu ya mabati. Sijembe ya rose flower, hapana. Mumpigia maroman links ya mbe, tukutane kwenye shower. Mafake MCs, wakiniona sema yawa. Shika microphone yo, nina feel the power. Normalist nina gawa, kama makarona, ndio naona. Poza smogis kwa kila kona. Baka mafake MCs, wane uliza mbona. Hawaseni wanoma, kutushinda. Hawotenekea middle finger. Tuwezi check the MIC, hawezi break the MIC. Hawoten mafake MCs, ama jese mo double G-I-C. Joboa, Joboa, hardcore tunaiokoa. From Waknesh to BS, wazi boy tunaikomboa. Tunageuza tu its finest kuacha mekondoa. Kisha michezo, tunaifunga vile ndoa. Joboa, Joboa, hardcore tunaiokoa. From Waknesh to BS, wazi boy tunaikomboa. Tunageuza tu its finest kuacha mekondoa. Kisha michezo, tunaifunga vile ndoa. Joboa, Joboa, hardcore tunaiokoa. From Waknesh to BS, wazi boy tunaikomboa. Tunageuza tu its finest kuacha mekondoa. Kisha michezo, tunaifunga vile ndoa. Joboa, Joboa, hardcore tunaiokoa. From Waknesh to BS, wazi boy tunaikomboa. Tunageuza tu its finest kuacha mekondoa. Kisha michezo, tunaifunga vile ndoa.
Today years old hearing that song. It has to be one of the simplest beats I've ever heard. I don't know if you can break it down for us, Jimmy, since you're the beat maker.
That sounds to me like a drum loop.
It's a drum loop, yeah.
It sounds like a drum loop. It reminds me of those drum loops, you know, like for Yamaha, for the church.
Right.
The church keyboards. Those preset ones.
Right.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me. Yeah, those one, you know.
And now you just hear the keys coming in.
When you go if you go to the Yamaha keyboard, there's different ones. Disco, hip hop, jazz. There's different ones.
Yeah. Oh my God, I forgot.
That's what reminds me of. So
and then all you had to do was just play the keys on top of it. Oh my God.
In our days, what used to happen was, like, you know, there were no CDs really, and if they were, they were very expensive.
Yeah.
So we used to go to that, connect it to a tape player, record that beat, and go and rap.
Oh my God.
It was as simple as that.
That has taken me back.
Those you know, those preset ones, you hit the button,
right,
and then it just keeps on playing nonstop.
Oh my God, that's taking me back. But yeah, that's how that, like, it very reminds me of the earlier days of Caliph. Like, they used to have very simple beats, and Clemo swore on Fruity Loops. Like, he could not use anything else.
Not just him. Some of the originators of Fruity Loops in Kenya was Ogopa. I remember they were like, if you call guys the Godfathers, they were like Clemo, like Ogopa. Those are the originators.
Wow.
Like, that's when you first heard about Fruity. And then I remember Ogopa, like, they didn't really have a studio to record.
Yeah.
And so they used to go to this place to record called Hills Media. Remember Hills Media?
No.
Hills Media is a place where people used to go record their vocals, or remember radio stations used to hire these studios. So Hills Media was one of them.
Right.
So then they record on Cool Edit Pro.
Oh.
Cool Edit Pro was where everything was done.
Yeah.
And so
that at least I can remember.
Yeah, so a lot of these guys started very, very, very simply. You know, it was a very simple way of putting music together.
Right.
And of course there was Beef, who's the because at that time the more seasoned production house was like Ted Josiah Studio, Blue Zebra. You know, it was more advanced.
Right.
You know, and then these other guys were there's Samawati. And then Bruce Odiambo, Johari Club. Those are the ones that you were like, okay, these guys. And
if you go to them, umefika.
And if it's Media House, they were creating adverts. There were guys like Jaco Dongo. Those are the names that you used to hear.
Right.
So now, like, you know, Gopa, they were nowhere. Caliph was nowhere. These are guys who just like, hey, they want to do their thing, but they want to do it different.
Right.
They want to do it for this, like Clemo was like, you know, where they came from, you know, which ended up working in the end. Right. It was a whole different sound that took over that worked at the end, you know. And so back in the early days, there were very few studios and literally they were very expensive to record in.
Yeah.
I remember when I first recorded in a studio, it was just like, first of all, there were no hard disk recorders.
Right.
It was this thing called reel-to-reel tape. And so you'd have to practice hard at home before you go to the studio. And you'd have to do that one verse perfect. No messing up.
Unless now you want to now.
There was no. You know,
they even used to snip the tape where it has a problem.
Then they connect.
Connects with sellotape. And then, oh my God.
Yeah. So now you had to be perfect. When you enter, there's no time to be joking around the studio.
Right.
You're paying for that 1 hour.
Right.
You better be serious.
Right.
Nowadays you go to the studio, someone's just like, hey, delete that. There's no time for that.
There was no time.
And the other guy who had a studio, people don't realize this, but there was another studio that was well known. When I break it down, you'll understand. It was called Next Level Studios in Woodley.
I can't remember Next
That
Level.
was Morris Oyando.
Yes.
It was basically you enter his house, his compound. In the compound, there was a caravan.
Right.
You enter the caravan, that's where the studio was.
Right.
Yeah. So you go record. A lot of guys used to walk there like, you know, Chris Adwar, you know, at one time Pete O'Dare was also pretty. There's a couple of guys who walked there, you know, and it gave an opportunity for people to record their records, you know.
Right.
But those days still you had to be right on task when you went. Nowadays when you meet artists in the studio, they take forever to record just a few bars. You wonder what the heck they're doing.
And you're like, back in my day. Back in my day, if you messed up.
No wonder producers get like if you meet some of the guys I knew back in the days who were producers, they're not young guys now. They get so angry
when
they think about young artists.
Right.
Like, are these guys serious?
Yeah.
Otherwise,
it was like, it was such a task back in the day.
was like you had to be on point, and then you just knew that when you finished recording, and they gave you the final mix, which now that you listen to some of those mixes, some of them were not that great, but when you heard it, and you'd basically take it to places like KBC. On that cassette, they would tell you come with chrome or metal tape.
Right.
That was a standard. And you never get that tape back.
That is tape.
So you don't know even what they would do with that tape.
But now...
And they would never play the song also on radio.
Now, first of all, like, the struggle was real back then. It was really real. And even like when you listen to documentaries where, you know, guys are talking about Puff and Big and blah, blah, it was always the same thing, the tape, and then having to cut. And so you can't be going there stammering, you can't be going there.
That thing of cutting the tape, there's a time I remember we were on stage and we were performing. There was me, there was Sarcute, there was Big Ted, Big Kev, Johnny, Lusambili, SOG, you know, we were all there, LC, we were all there performing. And in a minute, we're really there. We're performing. We're on stage with the mics. You know, those days there were only like 2 mics. So it's like you rhyme, then you pass it on to the next person so they can continue with their verse.
Right.
And as we're performing, and it's tape. It's actually a tape. The tape is in the cassette player. As we're performing, the beat is there. You see, tape imekulwa.
Oh, yes. Oh,
So
Lord.
we have to go there. We had to literally go out, look for sellotape. Go, look for that place, imekatika. Put the sellotape, put it together, and continue with our show.
Jeez. That's struggle.
That's how bad it was. So when
The
people tell me about TikToker, Spotify, all these things have come up, you guys, you don't know how.
Y'all are having it easy.
Nowadays, guys can just perform in their bedrooms. It's like, I'm live streaming.
Right.
It's that easy.
Now, we were talking about, speaking of that, artists nowadays versus the media. And I think it stemmed from even way back then. Way back then, it was artists fighting to get played. Now, it is artists fighting to get paid by that same media. Like,
because they feel like if their music is if they're out there, they feel like they're actually promoting the stations.
Right.
So because
Which could be true.
They feel like they're promoting them. They feel like they're in partnership in certain ways.
Right.
So they should get a benefit of it. But the way media looks at it is like, hey, media companies, a lot of them are going down right now. There's really nothing that's being made.
Yeah.
So when you tell me to put money into you, why am I putting money into you? If you're bringing me all this advertisement, then that's a different story.
Now, Malimu Rachel put out a video and she asked if the artist is to be paid for the interview because he's trending next time when he's having a media tour and wants to be interviewed on stations, can the stations charge them for airtime? And of course, people commented. Let's start with Fundi Frank. He's been all over this story. And he said, artists are now earning well. They should pay DJs and presenters for playing their music in clubs, radio, and TV stations like Nigerians do. Artists are now earning from YouTube, TikTok, CMOs. That's royalties for airplay. And download like Apple Music, Boomplay, Deezer, Audio Mic, endorsements, and good performance fees. The highest paid artists in Kenya now earn 3 to 5 million per show. Presenters na DJ salary ni ile. Kweli wasanii tunajipenda sana.
3 to 5 million. Which artists are those?
Sauti Sol.
Yeah.
Nyash.
But that's not the majority.
There is a select few.
And then people would argue that Fundi Frank can be talking like that. Let me play the devil's advocate here.
Okay.
They can be claiming that he's arguing like that because he has his Mseto live show with Tuva, which they go around. So they'll still classify him as media. He's
also a promoter.
But at the same time, it's like there are stations abroad, outside of Kenya, that charge artists to get the music played on radio, but they do it like advertisement. So they say these are this many hours per week that your music will play on rotation.
Right.
If you pay
just like an ad,
so they're actually buying space. So it's not illegal. It's not
payola anymore.
It's not payola. So that's how a lot of stations operate now abroad.
Right.
That's
For those who don't know payola, could you kind of explain it?
Yeah. Well, payola was this thing that you're paying underhand. You're paying the presenter underhand, which I have to say still operates in Kenya. I mean, William Tuva was accused of that the other day. There's other people who have been accused where you pay underhand and you get someone to play your music. You pay them a certain amount. It can be 5,000, it can be 10,000, it can be whatever, 20K.
So it's like the way we have Jam of the Week.
Yeah.
Now somebody pays to be featured there throughout.
Yeah. But the thing about it is this. Now that is illegal. When you go to a presenter and say, hey, I have this much, to be like, Gunangapi, if you pay me this much, I'll make sure your music gets on radio. Right. Some guys do that, and the amount of times you hear the song is like once or twice.
Right.
Not more than that.
Right.
Because there is a producer of the show who determines. For example, most radio presenters have a producer. The producer is actually the one who determines how the music is played.
Right.
So that means you have to go look for the producer also and pay the producer. But payola is been derived as being illegal. And even if you remember originally when downloads, people used to download, the first company that created that whole downloading thing online was called Napster.
Right.
Remember Napster?
Yeah.
And they actually were taken to jail. You know, so like you could download people's albums in seconds.
Yeah.
And that brought a lot of problems. But now the argument would be like, what TikTok and all these other guys do right now, isn't it what Napster was doing?
It was, basically.
So it's another form of, but they'll be like, no, it's not payola because you're getting a certain amount of money. And I remember, I think it was on...
And Napster was nabbed to shut down.
Yeah, they were shut down. Even those days, people used to put out these DJ mixes. They used to put them out on the streets and you pay like $20, $10. Even in Kenya, we had them where you used to go to certain DJs and you pay to get on their mixtapes. And so that became another problem also. That was illegal, you know. But if you look at it right now, like for example, Snoop Dogg Dogg complained the other day that he had got, like, I think it was on Spotify, got like 1 billion streams.
Great.
And he was paid $45,000.
Yeah, like, what's it for?
Yeah, it's just like, and then when you do the mathematics, he should have got about $3 million. But then they're claiming Spotify that every time someone downloads your song, that's like every time someone downloads, that's 5 cents.
But you know, like, and that just goes to show, you know, away from the media, who are giving you the platform for free. Yeah, it's the same way, like you're pushing YouTube. Go check out my video on YouTube, follow, like, subscribe, run up those numbers. YouTube get paid for the ads, and they give you a few cents per ad that's played on your song.
It's not much, but do you think the media houses should pay artists or individuals to come on their shows?
Facilitation, I have no problem with, because some people are not there yet. They don't have, because please understand, people of Kenya, media houses are suffering. Media is changing day by day. Guys are being, the headlines do not lie. Guys are being laid off. It's serious. And not only here, you see it being done with BBC, you see it being done with CNN. So we're all here in the trenches together.
It's because...
So each one build one.
There's a new phrase that came up about 2 years ago that changed the way media is. Everyone decided who was out there that was online. Now, I'm an influencer. Everyone I mean, like, what do you do? I'm an influencer. Kila mtu ni influencer. Everyone influencer. So with that, people would go to these people directly.
Yeah.
So before they used to go to the media houses if they wanted to
now
promote
you think
something.
Personalities now are the ones. I saw John Mushiri has been highly sharing Watendawili's music. Yeah, and that's because of maybe whatever collaboration they have, and also because of the audience that he has. It doesn't have to, but we're not saying don't give us your music. But as in, like, it doesn't have to translate only to me, it also translates to personality. So it's the modes of media have changed, right? Now, to that point, Phil on Facebook wrote, can someone tell Mwalimu that new hits sell even without mainstream media involvement? Maybe I've listened to almost all new hits without getting them from mainstream media. So the artists should be paid for any interview for bringing content to your show.
You know what I think? If people want to survive, artists, and if they want to survive, if they want to be invested in, whether they're thinking about financially, they should operate the way Germany operates. See, the way Germany operates is these football teams are owned half by the public,
right, and
half private. So they can't just make a decision on what happens because the public are invested in it. So people want to invest, let them invest in these states, see how it's really like.
Now, the thing a lot of artists also don't understand, yes, there are streaming platforms, but those streaming platforms might not be reaching watu mashinani. They might not, the reach cannot, sometimes, and that's why sometimes you need the media. That's why they turn to the media, because of the reach. You cannot only depend on one platform to put you out there. You also need to be traveling. You need to be doing gigs. You need to be able to have a team, a management team, all of that. That doesn't come from the effort. And that's why people are like, oh, it's calligraphy, so. But they take themselves there. Even to the smallest of gigs. I remember there was a time I hosted a karaoke gig somewhere in Dagoretti Corner, but I made that place big. So, Dagoretti Corner.
I knew you used to go to Dagoretti Corner to get furniture.
I made that place very big. So they came, and they were facilitated the very same way. And they were big at that time. But they came and they mixed and they mingled and they sang on a very small mic. Coded. It's not just like those studios that used to come with the mics, karaoke.
But I think to add on to your comment, I think we know more about these artists. Like back in the days, way back in the days, there used to be a lot of street jams.
Right.
So a lot of artists were known because of the street jams.
Right.
You know, they're actually out there performing. Artists that were known, artists that were not known, they get that. But a lot of artists complain that they don't even get the possibility of getting. And I think that's why a lot of them have gone on to streaming platforms that they think will make them what they need. You know, and I feel at the end of the day, Calligraph and Saudi Soul both started from somewhere. If you look at their careers, they both started from somewhere. I remember when I used to go to Allianz and I would see Saudi Soul in the basement where it was leaking and they were practicing. You see them all practicing on instruments and they're singing. That was like their first album. They were working on with Wawesh.
Yeah.
So like Calligraph, that time when he performed, people really didn't care about him. Same thing with someone like Lauryn Hill. People don't realize the first time she got on the mic, she was like, 13, 14 at the Apollo, and she was booed off stage.
Right.
But the thing is, I don't feel the artists, it's not that they don't want to succeed. Whenever I talk to artists, they say this, they don't have platforms. They keep on complaining. But now the argument is, when you give them the platform, what are they doing about it?
What are they doing with it? What are they doing? And, it's sad, like, I'm reading the comments on Molly Rachel's comment section, and most of them are just saying we don't need the media. And then they're the same ones who say, music Kenya ina boy itaenda mahali. You can't play things like that. You can't be that listener, that audience who is playing to whatever one artist is doing, and then at the same time say that we don't listen to Kenyan music because it's not known, and you listen to Amapiano and listen to Afrobeats.
But that's what I was coming to. How do they know about Afrobeats and Amapiano? You know where it first came? It came in the media. Then, a lot of those DJs are affiliated with media houses. That's how you get the music. That's how you know about them.
To be honest, you cannot,
that logic doesn't even make sense.
You cannot play the media. As in, like, yes, there are streaming platforms, but there's only so far that they reach.
And even when
if you go into a cab right now, they'll be playing the radio. They won't be playing Spotify. Yeah. You go into a restaurant, they'll be playing the radio. They'll not be playing Spotify. So let's not don't be deluded. You need the media.
And the thing is that anything that happens in any nation, even when there was a coup in Kenya, where's the first place they went?
The radio.
That's what they found, Lennon Botella. Right. That's the first place they went.
So moral of the story is you cannot discard
I think artists, if I was to give artists a bit of advice, this is my advice. Learn how to work with the media. Even when I was an artist, I knew guys were in the media. I knew certain people in the media that I connected with. One of them is my friend Flavian Busi and Mizizi. I connected, like, you'd always find me at KBC. I'd be there even when I'm not invited. I'd be there, and they had a telephone at the entrance, so they had to call Flavian. He's like, he has come out and get me. You know? And I was always aligned myself with people, whether it was in music, whether it was in radio, whether it was in business. I'd always figure out who is who and align myself. And I would ask them questions. So how can we do this to impact? And they would give me advice, and I'd follow that advice. I'd be like, who the heck do you think you are? Where would you eat to? Me, Najua. Like, there's never been that discussion going on. And I feel like artists, like, instead of fighting the media, use that platform.
Use it.
It's like how I deal with, like, artists in the studio. I tell them a lot of times, when you make music, you don't make it for yourself. You make it for the public.
Right.
So if you're gonna
unless you're under 3,000, that's different.
Yeah, but so if you drop a track, and even 100,000 started from somewhere. If you're gonna drop a track, find out what the public want.
Right.
The next, once your name is known, you can do, if you want to do folk music, like how Andre did with the flute. It's because he's known. He would not have done that in the beginning.
Right.
The same thing. Work with these media houses. Understand like how they operate as you build your brand.
Exactly. Good
and
advice.
then once you build, you can do what the heck you want to do. You can follow which direction you want to do.
100%.
But don't fight these people. You know, and how I'm gonna be on my. People have tried to do that along in life. Even people like Tupac were clever. They knew they had to work with the media.
They were dancing in MTV, okay? Yeah. Tupac was dancing in MTV. Yeah. He had to play to what the public needed to get his music out there, to get his persona, to get on movies. So just never discount. Fine, be on the platform, 100%.
Even people like Biggie are always around Angela Martinez. You know, they're always around her. You know, because they knew. So
and they still are.
I'm not telling artists or people out there to bow down. I'm not telling them to become who you're not.
Right.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying look at your brand, look at what you're doing, look at how you want to expose yourself.
Right.
Because the honest truth is, okay, let me give a good example of the media. A good example is this. Even us as Icon Radio, we have people outside Kenya, promoters, managers, DJs, producers who listen to our show. That's how they get to know about you. And when they ask us, hey, about this artist, it was like, yeah, this artist is doing their thing. And that's like, how can we know more about them?
Exactly.
You know, that's how they get to know about you.
Very true.
And so that's what I mean. Work with these media houses. Don't be like, yeah, I'm gonna be my own rebel, because that doesn't work.
Don't waste an opportunity. Any opportunity you can get. Now, Jimmy, you always have parting shots, parting words. We'll let you have that one before we close off the show.
Yeah, like before I go, I just want to know, you guys were trying to hate on me, saying I don't have dimples. Like, these things are real.
Can you focus? Oh my God.
Yeah. Anyway, I feel like hip hop, I feel, is a thing that's kind of losing its momentum around the world and in Kenya. Hip hop is a music that's there to pass. It's actually a culture, but rap is among the music, and it passes information, it passes knowledge.
Right.
But as artists, as producers, as managers, as promoters, we all need to work together. We all need to understand each other. We all need to build up each other.
100.
Why it is failing, and let me speak about specifically in Kenya, is because people are beefing too much against each other. And I said this before, like, we don't need to look at each other as competitors. We need to look at each other as collaborators. How can we collaborate together?
Right.
How can we build up each other?
Yeah.
You know, and if I see someone who's doing something out there, and I'm always checking out for people who are doing things. Always, whether it's it doesn't matter to me where you come from.
And you put them on. I'll give you that credit. You put them on.
I'm always looking, be like, hey, how can we, I may in some instances I may not be the best person to help someone. So I'm like, I know someone,
right?
So let me link you up with this person who's my people.
Let me tell you, Jimmy. If you don't know, Jimmy is a very good connect. He's yani, if you could make money off of your networks.
Well,
you oh my God, if you're Jimmy's friend, you'll benefit highly. Highly.
And I'll call you, man. I'm not like my gift is not in texting. I'm not a textaholic, you know. I'm more of a callaholic, you know. So I'll look for you and I'll be like, yeah, but how can we come?
Great.
How can some of the guys that I knew like back in the days when I started out as a young Jimmy, I'm still in touch with them till today. Some of the new guys that I met the other day, I'm in touch with them. I'll be like, how can we help each other? It's not about, and I say this, it's not about me. It's not about you. It's about us. You know? And so as you go about your business, as you go about everything that you're doing, look at as Kenya. Right now, I'm really focused on Kenya. You know, I'm really focused, how can we make Kenya better?
Right.
Because I feel like we're not making Kenya the Kenya that it needs to be.
Right.
And when other people come outside of Kenya, it doesn't matter whether it's in Africa or it's abroad, we bow down so fast. Ukiona mzungu, that's when you say, hey, mzungu ananisaidia. Yeah, people don't, let me just say this as I'm going, as I wind up. I've lived abroad. And I lived abroad for many years. And I'll tell you this. The way we view abroad is the way foreigners view Africa. We believe that if we go abroad, our lives are set.
Right.
They believe the same thing if they come to Africa. Now, the thing is this. But when they come over here, we feel that if we're around them, that our life immediately elevates. Look at yourself first. Look at your gift. Look at what you are good at and develop that. You know, there's no one who's just going to come around and make things work for you. You've got to make it work for yourself.
100%.
But if you do make it work, then there'll always be someone who will be around, be like, I love what you're doing. How can we connect?
Right.
So the connection here is important.
100%.
So that's my last phrase. Let's build up Africa.
Collaborations. Very important. Very, very important. Guys, if this has touched you in one way or another, be sure and let us know on +254 788 380030. Remember, we're always taking your music on info@iconradio.co.ke. We have even guys sending us music on our Instagram DM section. So send it to us definitely. Of course, you know, standards. But, you know, if it's good music, we'll definitely put you on.
What are the standards?
Standards are quality produced music.
Quality versus quantity.
Yes, quality. I understand Pinye, but quality is needed. Of course, sending music in 3-piece. Clean, my friend, clean music. I know the trend is to curse like a sailor, but we need clean music because we're cleaning up the airwaves, okay? We need to have our kids also listen to the music and be inspired by what you're doing because they're able to listen to it. Guys, it's been a fantastic show. Thank you so much for tuning in and being here with us. We'll catch you again next Thursday where we're all about hip-hop, K, and beyond. I've been your girl, MYRA MALOBA, the Afropunk Queen, and...
This is the beat maker.
Yes. And
yes, with the dimples.
Oh, Lord.
Yes. The beat maker, not the beat taker. As we say, and we always say, 10 fingers in the air. If you don't know, you better ask your mama or ask a kinyi with a good hair.
There we go.
Shout out.
All right. And as we always say on the show, hip-hop ni culture love, usisahau.
Mkuruweng na ingine juu ya system. Tuko ndani utadhani tuko deep state. Ma within kumaskani na ka mistress. Na tutoki tuko ndani ka. Walai tuko ndani ka. Tuko ndani. Walai tuko ndani ka. Utasikia fiti. Ndani kabisa. Ndani ka. Very nice. Ndani ka. Leo utaitana. Tunacheza ndani huku mechi imeivana. Ndani kama Ocean Gate vile kuna zamwa. Nenda tipsy diving bila flota nina njama. Ndani kama swallow. Begu ya avocado. Kismati ya subu nangukia ndani ya thermos. Ndani ka SIM card. Kanduki ya saka. Ndani kama shimo juu ya chicks sasa kacha. Tunalala ndani. Minampoa flani rada safi. Mzinga tutoki tuko ndani. Vibes and inshallah ni masticks na majani. Leo teja patika. Tuko ndani ka. Walai tuko ndani ka. Tuko ndani. Walai tuko ndani ka.
Hatutoki nikabebe na umbigo. Tuko ndani kama dedi za mkorino. Nikapoa nikatamu kama Pringles. Nikitoka na jam chunja fino. Nikamu kama wali wa mnazi. Songa na matai moja kupoteza wakati. Mechi ndo inaanza weka ball katikati. Nyendo leo lazima ishikane na kabati. Tunalala ndani. Mina mpoa flani rada safi. Mzinga tutoki tuko ndani. Vibes anishala ni masticks na majani. Leo mteja patika.
Tuko ndani ka. Walai tuko ndani ka. Tuko ndani. Walai tuko ndani ka. Mkuruweng na ingine juu ya utadhani tuko deep state. Ma within koma skani na ka mistress. Na tutoki tuko ndani ka like tuko ndani ka
Musa wa maremba na ukangonio ya ndasi ithaka gwa ni akiembu ni akiembu so dieronga kwa modo na koreo wana kirinde geterere kuthakirwa rwembo hayae motorere ndwa komere wenga wa mundu aika undu gatara muthirira mwega tigawe usije kufa moyo kwa mambo ya badilika kwa vile kila siku kuna jambo la kutwika chukua muda twende kando kwa kuburudika haya mengine nayo utakuja kamilisha yokwenda ngwere maondo monde maria twekire 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 tendidino yaku ego twerie ne mwene nyaga yogesokie maemete kama tingesoka neregwarenge kuroka rocio nwa muthenya wenge wava wokinyete tindekana kwa kworeo usije kufa moyo kwa mambo ya badilika kwa vile kila siku kuna jambo la kutwika chukua muda twende kando kwa kuburudika haya mengine nayo utakuja kamilisha yokwenda ngwere maondo monde maria twekire 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 mambo yatatatulia usife moyo sikia punga hewa sahau yalotendeka siwache chako kwa baraka inayopita angalia mbele utafika yokwenda ngwere maondo monde maria twekire 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 maundu atari kuma njambe gwitwa
Beat maker.
I go by the name Javi there. Oh hey. makofi. Place music ikikuna unapona tunatana kuna bana kuna shona kila kona kama kuna raka sana bana ungekuja jana madoba ni mob hata hini kama bonus ona vile doba ni wabeba kasafina talent ya muziki kona skill ya Maradona David anacheza music soul anapona ana you know the gospel tena msifanye kama genre. Wait a minute, ni genre ama genre? It doesn't matter. One thing we know ni ukifanya kama genre utatoka kama jana. Unapenda gospel, big up tena sana. Big up tunjabidi pale na waona. Ukiona mbogi nazitoka, usizubai usiulize mbona. Cheki, ndi mbogi naingia. Makofi.